Finally.
Hello and welcome to episode 69 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us here at Dice of the Beholder and streamed through the wonderful and amazing Heavyweight RPG. Not Heavyweight PG.
It is heavyweight PG.
Yes, so it's episode 69.
Nice.
Before we get into it, though, a word, obviously, about our amazing, wonderful sponsors. First of all, as always, Loki Battle Mats. They are an amazing, award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of battle mats, little, big, and giant sizes, and also their modular sets are full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you are interested in finding out more, please search for Loki Battle Mat, Loke, on Facebook, Twitter, or just go to lokibattlemats.com, the link in chat, to view their amazing artwork and shop their physical maps if you want to. They do release a lot of pay what you want maps on Drive-Thru RPG, so search Loke Battle Mats on Drive-Thru, and they work with all currently work with all virtual tabletop sites like Roll20, etc. Our second sponsor of the evening, big news for these guys as well, currently, is Blink Dog Dice, a fantastic and wonderful little dice creator, friends of the channel, local to us. We all, players and viewers alike, now are using Blink Dog Dice sets. They roll
And if you're not
incredibly
using
well.
them, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. As Nikki will confirm from our new Essentials Kit stream on twitch.tv/Dice of the Beholder, if you don't use Blink Dog
When does that stream, Richard?
tomorrow, this time. But if you don't use Blink Dog Dice, you will not roll well. And if you give your normal dice to someone who wanted to roll Blink Dog Dice but then doesn't, they will get 2 natural ones on an advantage roll.
That was impressive.
That was impressive. But yes, currently, if you go to Blink Dog Dice and their Etsy store, link in chat, and use the code 2020OFF, so 20OFF, you will get 20% off any of your orders with, I think it's, apart from a couple of items on their store.
Sorry,
free,
what's the code?
20 off.
In words or in numbers?
20OFF.
Thank you.
Yes, you will get free UK delivery on the majority of their items. There are something that Etsy won't let them get for free, but I think it's like £1. But yes, free UK delivery and ships worldwide. So go along, tell them we sent you, show them some love, and get 20% off some amazing dice. Apart from that...
80s charity stream.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, very important. Link is currently in the chat. Please go visit if you haven't already. There is a fantastic and wonderful, and it is going to be, if the last couple are anything to go by, a fantastic 24-hour charity live stream event in which the creator of Heavyweight RPG is going to run some awesome TTRPG streamers from Short Rest Tavern. Is going to run them through 24 hours of AD's Homebrew World, which, if you watch the Tuesday night stream, you will have seen is a fantastic, wonderfully interesting place. Love child of AD and his friends, and yeah, it's a fantastic charity, incredibly worthwhile. As soon as I get some money, I will be donating, and lots and lots of prizes to be won. If you donate at least £5 to the charity, you can put your name in the hat for many, many, many awesome prizes. There are many sets of Blink Dog Dice up for grabs. Loki Battle Mats have offered a big and giant copy of their Battle Mats books. Still trying to work out whether it's volume 1 or 2 yet, but we'll see. And also, there's this dice box, which now has lots of stuff hiding it, so I can't show it currently. Hero Vault, sorry. There are also donated by D&D Beyond 2 copies of their latest release, which is Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Kind of want to win one for myself because Ravenloft is awesome. But yes, please pop over and if you can, no pressure, but if you can, donate because it is a fantastic cause. Yes, now is everyone ready to play some D&D? Let's get everyone on screen. There we go. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Rich, are you alright there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You look, you're having some sort of aneurysm.
No, I'm
You
good.
look
You've got
like
this vein going.
almost looks like you've got some sort of problem.
No, I'm alright.
Greg fell.
You just killed me.
Greg's just rearranging himself.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh.
Everything's fine.
Everything.
Oh, you've set up
is-
separate scenes for it now, haven't you?
No, it's pretty easy to just as a right click fit to center. Fit to screen.
So,
Very
is everyone ready for some D&D?
yes.
Yes.
I'm ready for you to do your 40-minute recap of last episode.
No, it's fine.
And-
You didn't
and-
actually get much done last
Oh, we
episode.
didn't do
Gosh.
shit. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
Gosh.
So, last time on the Chronicles of Nidum.
It's so small.
It's like, zzz.
It's a Greg fly.
Just ignore it, Bri. Just ignore it and power through.
Last time on the Chronicles of Nidum. I can't fucking remember, it's gone. Last time on the Chronicles of Nidum. Right. Oriana was told a great deal of new information by the disembodied spirit of Benkin. And after many revelations, was asked, much to Oriana's frustration, to take it easy on Ankane, because he did not truly know what he had done, or could not be held responsible for it. Oriana decided to think on this, and agreed with Benkin that she might leave Ankane alone. Maybe a little bit. Unless her life was in jeopardy, or the day ended in a Y. However, returning then with the rest of your friends to the courtyard of the temple district that you found yourself in underneath Paras, suddenly there was a bright flash of rainbow light, and Ace had returned. Having vague memories now of fighting a great undead horde and defending a portal in what they could only assume was a section that Valhalla left on this plane. Ace looked older, more war-torn, scarred, harder than they had when they had left. However, now that you'd all missed each other, and when Ace was filled in on the shocking revelation of Oriana having a pureblood tiefling brother who controlled the Paras underworld, you were rebuffed when you decided to try and take your friends to meet him once more by his first in command, his right hand, Kiara, who was ever so slightly obsessed with him, as discovered by Quill and his Detect Thoughts spell. You returned to the bar, back above, and in Paras above, the Broken Scimitar, and met Captain Handsome, but also a slightly charming, somewhat attractive human fighter who seemed to relish in bare-knuckle boxing, and immediately took a liking to Oriana. There Oriana also met the Durgar from the train, who, after hearing less than 3 words from him, remembered that she'd heard that voice before, and it did not take very long for Oriana to discover that, for Oriana to discover that the Durgar was in fact Loki in disguise.
We think Greg might be Loki in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Upon discovering this and realizing that there was not much more they could do in the tavern of the Broken Scimitar, they made their way back to their hotel so that at least 3 of them could plan on how they were going to undermine the elven regime by spraying graffiti in the human slums. When they had left to do this, and entering into a rather long and philosophical conversation about whether they should be doing it or whether it was safe for the humans, Oriana, having been left, well, apparently been left in the hotel room, took flight as soon as the sun had set and flew back to the Broken Scimitar, back to the entrance to the Paras underworld, and back to the home of her brother. She was not allowed again to see him. He still did not want any company. However, she ended up having quite a nice chat with Chiara, who had warmed to Oriana now that she was now discovering that Oriana was not after a piece of the pie of the Paras underworld. Oriana elected to sleep there in her brother's home, and when sleeping, dreamt of the hellscape that she had dreamt of many times before, but much, much longer ago. Months ago now was the last time Oriana had experienced this dream.
I have dreamt it once before.
It was in this dream that Oriana noticed the crown that Chiara had mentioned her brother was coveting, and again saw the Inquisitor, the most hated man in all of the Empire, and one that now Oriana had a personal vendetta with, believing, after what Benkin had told her, that it was the Inquisitor's fault that her mother had died, or her mother had disappeared at least. The rest of the party got back from the graffiti, got back from trying to start the revolution in the human slums, and upon returning to their penthouse room, were met by a familiar face. Standing in the darkness was Niklaus Rath, wondering what had taken them so long.
I meant to ask in the week, who the fuck is Niklaus Rath?
Take your notes.
I can't.
Niklaus Rath, when you were in Cardiff,
I did.
there was the secret council chamber that you were taken to by Natasha and Clint. And he was the human male who was in charge of that council.
Yeah. Father.
Would be
He's
another
father.
name.
Right, yeah, if you just said father, then I wouldn't, yeah, okay.
He did use his name. He introduced himself to you with his
Right,
name.
right, this is me
Okay.
and names.
All right, okay. So yes, Oriana is currently sleeping in her brother's home. The rest of you have returned, planning on a long rest after your night of graffiti vandalism. And
Vandalism.
I don't remember there being any vandalism.
Rebellion.
Rebellion. Fucking
Rebellions are built on graffiti.
Well, they are, a lot of them. Greg, I've sent you another one in your Facebook chat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
as Niklaus Rath pulls out what is effectively a bomb. So he stands there having gestured to the seats in the suite and sits down without invitation, waiting for the rest of you to do so as well.
I sit down, looking madly confused, and go, so, how did you find us? Why did you find us? No, how first? How first? You're muted.
And also, who are you?
I was about to ask you the same question. Who
Quill,
is...
this is Father. Father, this is Quill.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I thought your father was a...
No, he's not my father. He is father. His name's Niklaus.
I see.
We'll come back to it, I promise. There's so much you don't know.
No rush.
This is Quill. Quill is a new friend of ours after Sepsis summoned a large celestial by reading a book and did a runner.
Not related
No.
events, I don't think.
The book and the celestial, I think it was.
No, your friend departing and me arriving, they were unrelated.
Separate events, same train.
I'm glad for the clarification. I was about to ask if you were a summoned celestial.
No, but I mean, people have said that I have the voice of an angel.
So the only one among your group who could be trusted to keep their identity a secret is no longer with you.
And was also possibly not a good person.
I knew that from first meeting them, but
I would say I think we're doing okay, thanks. Not dead?
yes, and he kind of looks around the room you're in. I take it then, and he looks at Quill. You are... I can't fucking look at Quill. And he looks at Quill. I take it you are a member of the Fragrant Peaks clan, which is the reason for all this.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, I am. The reason for all what? Sorry.
The opulence, Quill.
Oh yes. Well, yeah. I'm staying here at the invitation of a family member. That's certainly the case.
Invitation. Sort of. Just take it seriously and move on, bro.
I don't know why you're struggling so much with this. We're just trying to have a normal conversation.
When last I met your new friends, Quill, they were used to much less pleasant accommodations than this.
This is true. We were.
There are
Mostly fields and such.
perks to traveling with a member of my family.
First of all, let me say you did well on the train.
Oh, actually, a lot of that was Ori, who unfortunately isn't here this evening. She's staying elsewhere, but
She did fantastically.
she did an amazing job.
Where is Oriana gone?
To visit family.
The moon.
I'm not sure. Why do you want to know?
We caught her. Well, she caught our eye, leaving the window. Flying through the city, even after dark, is not recommended, but...
Fucking city. I flew down to the street and then walked.
It's not visible, I would think.
Yeah, but I didn't fly through the fucking city. I'm not there, it's fine.
I didn't know that she flew. We went out to we popped out.
We lost her in the Broken Scimitar, and she did not leave again and is not inside, so...
Then I would say she did a good job of avoiding detection on where she went, wouldn't you?
Doesn't sound like she calls too much attention to herself.
Well, I mean, Oriana draws attention wherever she goes. She's purple. But
True.
Can I safely assume that the Broken Scimitar is an entrance to Paras below?
I would neither confirm nor deny anything, my friend, I'm afraid.
I do not have a wonderful relationship with the Master of Paras below, but if you could put in a good word, if you do, perhaps, you could end up saving many more lives.
Depends. Will you let Oriana continue to call you Daddy? She might be more amenable if you do. I'm sitting there properly grinning over a cup of something like...
It's not the worst thing people in my employ call me.
What
What's the worst thing they call you? Sorry, I need to know.
Quill, you were saying?
what is it that you need access to Paras below for?
Paras below could be integral in many of my plans for Paras itself.
And what is it that makes you think we have any influence
Sway.
there?
I'm very good at putting two and two together.
I have a question for you. I have two. Firstly, how's Clint? I miss him.
Clint is doing very well. He excelled in a few of the missions or the quests that I sent him on, and is now a much more active member of our organization. He's left Albion.
Ah, okay, I have two more questions. One, what is happening in Albion? We've heard of nature attacking elven cities. We've heard of all sorts of fairly crazy things, if you're not us, happening all over the place. Rebellions, all sorts.
Unfortunately, the majority of Albion and Cimria currently is in chaos.
Why?
Nature did seem to rebel against some of the elven cities, but unfortunately it was quite quickly beaten back by them. 3 of their mines, the crystal mines, I know you've spent time in at least one. 3 of their mines have now grown so large the crystals have punched through the surface of the earth and are visible. One is large enough to be seen from miles away. Londinium is a police state. There is a curfew on almost all races, apart from the elves. Unfortunately, because there was a great deal of destruction when a person of interest to us broke out of a prison cell beneath the Knight's Temple.
How did that happen?
What was the person's name?
Brucius.
We met him.
Yes, I thought you might have.
And why is that?
It would appear, through my contacts in the Knights in the Guard, that Brucius was given ingredients, alchemical ingredients, by someone that he should not have been.
Small sack of cloth.
Would appear to have been one of the only people that had any dealings with him in the run-up to him slipping his leash, shall we say.
Is this a disaster or a good thing? There's never any in between, so it has to be one or the other.
Some good things have come out of it, but again, Londinium is in uproar.
So, I'm sorry, why are you here? Not to be rude or anything, but why are you here?
Why am I anywhere?
No, that's bullshit. There is always a reason that you're everywhere, and I have to assume you want something from us. Otherwise you would not be here. Don't give us shit, we've seen too much.
Paras is the center of the Empire. The Empire subjugates our entire people. And is working towards something big. Something that is so far over the horizon and so dangerous, even I cannot put 2 and 2 together and work out what it is. But to find those secrets, Paras is where we need to be.
We're doing plenty of digging. Believe me, we have a lot of missions here. I think we'll be in Paris for some time, assuming we don't end up dead or captured.
Yes, let's assume that.
Well, that's the hope, isn't it? There's a floating ship, tentacly fellows, illithid,
Stolen from a video game, I think.
control crystal within the. It's a floating nautiloid, nautilus, nautiloid.
I have heard of it.
Genuinely no idea if I'm right or wrong.
Not like.
There is the closest thing I suppose you could get to a free human settlement in the south of Shalem. A massive conglomeration of vineyards owned by an elven baroness of some sort.
We're aware.
Vineyards, you say?
Yes. It would appear that the Nautiloid attacked there recently.
Were they okay?
Strangely enough, yes, they have fared much better than a lot of the other more empire-friendly settlements along their way.
Why would they be going after the elven settlements, not the human?
In the elven settlements, only humans are taken.
But why would they not then take the humans from a human settlement?
They were beaten back. The humans
By?
in that settlement are armed.
This settlement. Do you know the name of the countess?
We do.
I know,
Yeah,
but does he know the name?
Sorry, I thought you'd missed that bit.
No. Why, do you?
No, I don't think we do. I'm
Well,
just wondering if it's something that we can look.
I have sent Natasha to broker an introduction.
if it is who I think it is, tell Natasha to be nice. Because she's not always.
She knows how to be nice. It would appear that
She doesn't show it very often.
It would appear that
she wasn't very nice when we met.
She punched you.
No,
Oh no, she restrained you. We punched you. Right, yeah.
correct.
Sorry, Nikki.
I potentially have something for you to do for me in Paras. If you
I
have
am
the
floored
time.
by this information. It is a complete surprise to me. Go on.
I'm not sure we're looking for employment currently.
It's more to do with the human rebellion cause, Quill. I would be willing to at least hear what he has to say. He helped us, to be fair. You wouldn't know that, but he did. Sort of.
Firstly, not just for these festivities, though I believe this is the cover that is being used. There is a plan in motion to have countless humans brought into Paras itself.
Yeah, that would be the gladiatorial fights, no?
No,
Or the festival itself, no?
these would arrive afterwards. There are currently plans in motion to move them in numbers never seen before. It could empty towns, some
Why?
settlements. We don't know. But this push it needs a incredibly well-connected person to broker the transport. It's coming from all across the Empire.
Is this going to be anything to do with the Inquisition?
The Inquisition are the ones brokering the deal, but I have yet to discover how they mean to move this many humans into Paras and how they're getting everyone across the border, how they're arranging transport.
Probably not by train.
Well, unless there's a new train design coming out soon.
Well, that's something we can look into for sure. Look, we'll find as much information as possible. We have reason to visit some very high-profile places. within Paras while we are here. Subtly, if possible. Probably not.
Subtle is my name.
Yeah, it is unfortunately not mine, Aces, or Oriana's sometimes. We are not a subtle team. Nikki is, though.
I have also had word that a planar portal has been opened in Paras. I was not aware there was still one. But if any...
I thought planar travel was impossible.
So did I.
No, we knew they were trying to open a portal. We managed to stop it on that occasion, but I'm not surprised they succeeded somewhere else.
Where was this?
This was in a forest outside
Briscoe.
There was a lot of necromantic energy involved, and some guy. It was a while ago. By which I mean, I don't remember what we did.
I live not that far from Briscoe.
There were some ruins in the woods, and we were led there. And what we found, Clint was actually with us. So you would be aware of this, I think, Nikki, which is your new name, and you're going to have to deal with it.
I remember the report, yes.
Well, if they were trying to open a portal there, it stands to reason that, should that not have worked, they would have tried elsewhere.
If you can find out any more, I would be pleased to receive as much information as you can get. There's also the matter of the dwarves.
Look, we're already dealing with the gnomes, the dark elves, and the humans. What do you want from us?
I apologize. I meant gnomes.
Well, you said dwarfs. Is it different? That is very sizist.
I'm
I swear at him in gnomish.
I'm going to have you cancelled. I'm putting this on fantasy Twitter right now.
I'm very sorry. I apologize. I meant gnomes.
The issue with the gnomes, the fact that they are building the airships and are being kept in a factory, correct?
Yes. I would like an airship.
I would like to free the gnomes. I don't think these two goals are compatible.
Solid gold toilet. That doesn't seem like something that's... There is actually a solid gold toilet here.
Also, there's no reason we couldn't steal one of the airships while freeing the gnomes, if we can free the gnomes.
What do you want an airship for?
Better travel.
Faster travel. A means of traveling across the Empire.
You know, someone who was very recently chastising a member of our party for being unsubtle by flying about. It seems a little hypocritical to be in want of an airship.
Many of the gnomish airships can travel invisibly. It would be a great technological advantage against the Nautiloid if it was ever to attack one of the human settlements I protect.
All right, here's a deal then. You find some information to help me break the factory in some way. And as part of it, I'll see how the gnomes can help us get an airship. They would be best placed to do so, knowing how they work and such. But they won't do it while they're restrained. Captive.
If you have a chance as well.
I'll add it to the list. Go on.
Anything you can do for the matron mother.
Oh, already on the list. We're good. I'm dating her daughter.
And also the man they have in custody that they believe is me.
Who do they have in custody?
A common acquaintance of ours. Marcus.
Marcus? Well, you'd better hope that we get to him before Sepsis does.
Who's Marcus?
Marcus was the lord of where we grew up, if you like, and actually did not make some good choices where we're concerned. But
does he look like Papa here?
No, actually, but he's protecting our families still, so this matters to me.
Why do they think he's you if he doesn't look like you?
He volunteered the information. He's probably more powerful than Niklaus, I would imagine.
Currently, I think he does look like me.
Well, that will help us to track him down at least.
Marcus is interesting. He does not appear to age. I don't know what he is. He looks human, but I don't think...
He has at least 3 more grey hairs in the last
3.
10 years.
He's discovered the magic of retinol.
That's polyamorous. We will look into it. I can't promise. We have a lot of things that we want to do while we're here. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
What do you know about King Arthur? Have you ever heard the name?
The last great human king. A hero among the people of Albion, Cimria, Avalon.
Do you know how planar travel was stopped in the first place? The planes were closed.
I do not. It's
Well,
information lost to time or kept heavily under lock and key by the elves.
or not. We have reason to believe that it was a decision made by Arthur Pendragon that caused the split, and a lot of humans went somewhere else when that split was made. The ones that are left, a lot of them may have abilities that they don't even know about. Not just light-fingered thieves like Clint with amazing stealth abilities and running around, others who wouldn't have even been tested.
Yes, it appears that, in fact, all humans who remained here in
Should
our
have.
plane were magically gifted.
They could be hedge witches, they could be people with great potential, but no one is looking for it, so there is no training being given. We found 2 children previously, I think you've heard of them. They were Elsa and Anna, which I will never forgive our DM for. And they were fortunately rehomed to my parents, but one of them at least was very strongly magically gifted.
Speaking for myself, 100% of the 3 humans that I've met are magically talented.
I sort of go, aw. Thanks. Talented.
So it was the humans who caused this disaster then?
No, not precisely.
No. See,
It
that was
was
Mordred.
yes, it was in a war against Mordred, some
Was Mordred
aggressor.
not a human? Arthur's son? Nephew? Ward?
I don't believe so.
Um,
Maybe. It's all new.
right, wasn't he?
Would I know?
He was an elf, wasn't he, in the flashback?
You know, having read the diary and experienced that flashback, that Mordred was in fact a 1,000-year-old elf, imbued with dark magics and leading effectively an elven and historically evil race army against humanity and their allies.
We tell him that.
Yeah, we relay that information exactly.
But you
Let's
also,
just say
know...
that I've relayed to him the detail of the what's in the book.
The vision as we know it so far.
You understand his confusion only because having researched like some Arthurian legend yourself, at least what little is still handed down by humans anyway. As far as you can tell, the legends, or most of them, do state that Mordred was human and in some way related to Arthur.
But he wasn't.
No.
Yeah, that's what I say to Nick.
Okay. So, he is confused for a moment, sits there, and you can see him mulling over all of this new information in his mind. And after a moment, you can see almost something click on his face, and he looks at you all. I can work with this. I can
Well, yeah,
use this.
as someone who protects colonies of humans, I suppose this puts you in charge of probably the largest gathering of potentially magically talented individuals
in the world as it
anywhere,
stands.
ever, possibly.
All those slaves we recently freed from the trains, all the fighters
Sorcerers,
that were taken by
warlocks,
Natasha,
paladins.
hundreds of fighters at your disposal who are already trained to fight but could be trained in other skills too.
They're lost to us at the moment, hiding. But
They can be found.
I know where they are, but they can be of no use currently.
This vineyard in the south,
Also
filled
a
with
collection of humans.
armed humans. They could be vastly more formidable if they receive some training in their.
The human settlements to the north too.
I mean to free them as soon as I possibly can. Now, armed with the knowledge, of course, that the collars or cuffs are much easier to take off than we believed.
Most of them. I think ones in Paris might be more challenging because they are handed down through family. There is a good chance that they will require magic to remove because they may well be the older designs.
One of my agents likes your graffiti, by the way.
What graffiti?
The one he actively watched you spray on a wall.
Wasn't us.
This is an invasion of privacy.
That's what I do.
Well, I don't like it. Stop.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, Quill. We found him in our hotel room.
She's kind of leans towards you and smiles and just says, "No."
Oh, well, then I won't get you an airship.
Very well.
I care more about the humans being freed than I do about my privacy, but don't watch me in the bath, okay?
I don't
This
have.
guy
I
An
don't
totally
do
wants
anything
you in the bath.
interesting in there.
I don't have an.
This guy's
agent in
totally
your
wanting you in the
bathroom.
bath. You should do something interesting in there. The baths here have jets. They're
I know I
Very
found him
powerful.
the other day. It was great.
Nicholas already probably knows that.
Nicholas has been in there. That's what he was doing while we were running around.
You don't get many chances to use a solid gold toilet. That is
If
all.
you've left it dirty,
For,
we're going to have fucking words.
there is a, I believe, prestidigitation spell on the toilet.
It's very clean. That's how Ori gets my armor clean. We will tell Ori that you dropped by and we will speak with her to see if she's willing to help further. I know she's fond of you, Daddy.
Well, who wouldn't be?
Right?
He gets up.
We didn't get less sarcastic while you were away.
He gets up. Do you have any easy way for me to contact you?
Apparently,
Yes.
you could just show up in our hotel room.
Yes, I have an easy way to contact us. Pop back tomorrow night and I will give you something. Not like that.
If not me, then I'll send someone.
Oh, St. Clint! He's probably not here.
Unfortunately, not Clint. However, I've got someone who can pass as a staff member at least.
Fine. Yes, pop back tomorrow night. I will give you something. It won't take me long to make, but I don't have the inclination this evening. It's late.
Then I will leave you to your rest.
Actually, I want you to use one of your agents to check something out for me. The fighting pit with some of the humans are... Someone is collecting humans and treats them relatively well. Bri, what's his name? Help me out.
Apoliteus.
Apoliteus. If you could get one of your agents to subtly check on conditions there and ensure one of our friends is being well looked after, I would be grateful.
He absolutely should be looking after your friend quite well. We pay him enough.
I hope so. That's fine then. I want to make sure one is well looked after. One being their name, not a designation of a person. It's not just one person. I'm talking about a person called One.
Natasha explained.
I care about them, and I want to make sure they're okay.
I will
To be able to do well in life.
see what I can do.
They fought with us on the train, in part. They deserve to be cared for. Mostly they stayed out the way, but that was the smart move, quite frankly.
I'm sure they're fine. Hippolytus is a caring sort, though gruff when you first meet him.
Who's the Anubis-looking fellow? What's he like?
I believe he may work for the school. Bodyguard,
He was the one...
administrator.
Okay. All right, good.
Is that all?
I think so. Is that all from you? Do you need any other tasks for us? Because...
No, but
We're not busy.
I believe you may have a message. And he nods over to the... There's like a small table just next to the entrance into the suite, on which is a small... It's like a claw, but it's made of silver. It's a 3.3 fingered claw. And on top of it, it holds like a very small crystal ball. And that crystal ball is now kind of blinking slowly, pulsing
Well, I
with
assume
energy.
that's probably for you.
I didn't even know we had an answering machine. Do I know how to activate this device?
You have heard of them. They're quite expensive. Your family had one, but it broke a long time ago. If this works the same as the one that you used to have, pretty much just rub your hand over it.
Okay, I will
Just
do
give
that.
your balls a rub, it'll be fine.
Wait, is Father still there?
No, he's walking towards the front door.
Yeah, I'll wait until he leaves and then I'll I'll activate it.
As he
Au
turns,
revoir, Papa Nicky. Au revoir.
I am glad to find you all well, and in the company of one so affluent.
What an extraordinarily sinister way to put that.
Yeah, it was. I'm also quite glad to find us well with our new friend, Quill, whose money means literally nothing to me. I wouldn't care if we were in a box on the street, although I will say the beds are better here.
Very pleasant beds.
Until we meet again. And he walks out the door.
Au revoir, Papa!
Bye, Pappy.
Pappy, I like that. He's fun to make fun of. He has no sense of humour. What's your message?
I noticed that. I'll activate the message device.
As you activate the message device, then, a face, kind of almost a ghostly form, hovers above the message device. On their head, they are an elf, strikingly handsome, dark hair, which is rare for most of the elves you've seen. And as the head sits there with a quite small, understated crown on their head, you realize that you have seen, just at a glance, pictures of this person kind of on posters around the city since you've been traveling around Paras. After a moment, smiling, the elf kind of just looks around as if he's taking in the room, almost locking eyes with everyone there. Greetings, citizens of the Empire. It is joy to my heart that so many of you have traveled to the city to celebrate my younger brother's birthday, the coming of age, and perhaps very soon his coronation. I have a message. We have thought on this long and hard, but going on the precedent set by my father, many years ago, when the great battles in the arena first came to Paris, I have decreed, as part of my brother's celebrations, that anyone who enters will have a chance at freedom, fame, glory, and wealth. The prize for surviving or making it to the final bout in the arena will be, regardless of whether you have committed a crime against the Empire, regardless of your race. I have decided that the winner of the tourney, the fights, will be granted amnesty and will be granted great wealth and freedom within the confines of the Empire. Please visit please visit the nearest official near the arena, or if you already have a sponsor or someone you know who is already sponsoring people to enter the tournament, you may be sponsored by them, and we will take as many people as want, as I have been made aware by our fine and great institution, the Inquisition, that a great many fighters have had to withdraw suddenly. So it is now opened up to anyone who wants to put their name into the hat. Please enjoy the rest of the festivities, and we hope to see a great many of you taking part in the fights in 2 weeks' time. Au revoir, and good luck. Bonne chance. And the message ends, and the face disappears.
Bloody junk mail.
Does this interest us?
Why did they have so many openings suddenly?
Because we freed all their fighters.
Ah, that does make sense.
I wonder if is it an individual fight thing, or do you think we could fight as a team? Because if that's
I
the case,
feel
then
it may be individual.
do we know, Bri?
You'd have to actually ask around and find out. You don't know. Like, roll me a history check.
Aye.
I
Being
I
a
forgot
member of the Empire, roll me a history check.
Yeah, I forgot to set my dice out, so give me a second to get all of my dice out of my. I was too busy playing with my
you just
camera.
have to get all of them out.
No,
Amateur.
they all need to be out of my dice rolling tray, though. Otherwise, I won't know. No, I don't know shit. What's
you roll?
my history? Oh, I'll tell you in a fucking minute. God. 11.
11. It's not a difficult one, because it's just stories you've heard from across the way. There have been tournaments like this on a much smaller scale in Londinium. There is a kind of annual one. There are team events. There are events in which people train and enter animals, beasts, and there are solo events as well. You don't know for certain, like you don't know enough about how these particular events are being put together to be able to make an educated guess, but if you ask around, you could probably, there is a chance that you could enter as a team from what you know about the way events like this go.
Okay. If there is a team event, maybe we should enter. We could do a lot of good with that kind of money and notoriety.
And
We
we'd
could.
be free of any crime.
Yes, I haven't committed any, but yes, I imagine.
Technically, neither have we. Sepsis did.
Hmm.
Well, we committed the crime of being human, and also we've killed some elves. So I guess maybe. No, you definitely have committed a crime. I'm sorry, Quill. 100%.
No, I don't think I have. The concern I would have, if we were to enter this as a team, which I think would be very fun and entertaining for us. Would we enter it with the two of you in your natural state, or would we have to disguise you? Because I don't know if the amnesty.
Humans are free to enter, so
Yes, but they're not
we don't
free
want
to
to be
have
seen.
magical powers.
I am head to toe armor, and Ace has a hat.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if we enter in disguises, then would the amnesty not apply to the real people under the disguises?
That is the question, isn't it?
I'm a little concerned. It sounds a little bit like a trap.
it sounds a lot like a trap.
I still want to do it. It sounds very fun.
From freeing anybody.
I am skeptical. I would rather get the blood trace removed. Was I there when Ori found out that we no longer have a bounty on us?
No.
That
None
was
of us know except for Ori, do we?
Ori was at a different table speaking to someone else.
Yeah.
no. Ori came back and told us.
I came back and told you.
I told you, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if we no longer have a bounty on us, then we no longer have a reason to hide, technically.
But a good reason to enter still. The money, fame, notoriety.
Not sure
Yes
we
and
want
no,
the notoriety part.
Sorry?
I said I'm not so sure about us wanting the notoriety part.
That
Again-
kind of fame can be leveraged into influence, though, if we wanted to make changes.
I have concerns about it. A lot of what we do is hinged on being able to hide, breaking into the factory, for example, one of my tasks. If you are continually followed by a group of people going, "Oh my god, you're so amazing, you're the best fighters in the world," it just makes it that much harder to get around.
Yeah, I like
No.
being sort of anonymous.
I'm not certain that you would be permanently followed, and also disguises are easy to come by.
We're also not that anonymous to begin with. Maybe we should look at it. We could speak to Apolliteus and ask if Apolliteus works with Niklaus Rath, then we can probably have a fairly frank conversation about what...
We need to consult Ori as well if we're going to be entering as a team.
Yeah, of course. But we can still ask if we go and visit one. We can get more information anyway, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
No point making a decision without information.
If we enter, then we could find ourselves being competitors to one.
Well, hopefully not. But yes, it's possible.
It's a sporting competition. I don't think one would object.
That involves your freedom as a prize, though.
I would like for one to be free.
Perhaps one could be on our team, if it is a team. If there is a team event.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
we certainly could ask.
Again, if they're working for Apolliteus now, that might not be an option. But again, these are all things that we can look into, right?
Yeah.
I would like 1 million gold.
$1 million gold would be great.
I'm pretty sure
2 million.
they just said riches, but 2 million gold. Wow. Let's branch out, right?
Maybe even 1 million platinum.
Oh, no, we're just getting silly. That's like money no
That would be
human
like
should
1 million gold.
I could revamp the healthcare program. Sorry, wrong campaign. He looks grumpy. Quick, put up another picture of him. It makes him smile.
The night is wearing on. Oh, fuck. The night is wearing on. What would you like to do?
Did you homebrew my armor? Because if you didn't, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, but it's going to take you more than one evening.
No, but I can start the process, but then
You
my
won't.
armor might be out of commission. Would my normal armor still be wearable during the process? No, it'll stay as it is for now until I've done Quill's investigating thing on his cousin, and then we'll look at it. So no, I'm going to bed. Oh, I'm going to message Sarah Hershey. Go, I'm in Paris, near your mother, I think, maybe. I love you. Bye. Hope you're okay.
The response you get is quite quick and short as well. I love you too. Please do not put your own life in jeopardy just for hers. I do not want you to, and neither would she.
I look at the stone and go, what a ridiculous statement. And go to bed.
Okay.
I am also going to bed.
You all sleep well. Especially Oriana, who got a lot more rest than the rest of you did.
Yeah.
I will be right back. Carry on without me.
Oriana,
Yo.
you wake below ground, mainly because of the sounds of the small settlement around you, or around this building, as they come to wake, and you can almost hear what sounds like a person mimicking a cockerel, as if they're joking that day has begun, because they couldn't possibly know it this far underground. But as you wake, the door to your room, or the room you were shown to, does open, and Kiara kind of pokes her head in. Good morning.
Good morning. I get out of bed.
It is nice to see you looking so refreshed, and after our conversation last night,
How are you feeling?
I am well. I think much better, having spoken to you, in fact. Your brother, I believe he would like to see you. If you have a moment.
Yeah, of course I do. No problem at all.
Please come. He is not the most patient.
I'm walking out the door.
You walk. There's not many corridors. You effectively walk straight out of your door into the main throne room, and there sits on the throne, holding a candle and just staring into the flame.
Greg.
Your brother. And as you see,
Greg, I will come in the room and batter you if you don't stop.
I'm fixing it.
As you walk into the room, your brother looks up, sees you, blows out the candle and puts it down to one side. Sister.
Brother.
I apologize for being so unwelcoming. Come, sit. Breakfast, food. Would you like to eat, drink?
Yes. I don't eat meat.
Very well. And he clicks his fingers. And doors open, and 3 locals walk in, platters of food. Most of them like breakfast pastries and things like that. Some fresh juice for you. Well, it's sort of fresh. It's whatever we can get from above.
Probably better than what I eat majority of the time.
You have travelled much, then?
Yeah, a lot. Pretty much non-stop. Since close to a year now, I think.
I am sorry that life has been so hard for you this past year. But
It really hasn't compared to how it's been for my companions.
you travel with humans.
True. I'd like for you to meet them sometime.
Perhaps. Not now, though. I have a request of you.
You do? And what is that?
A favor, really. You may refuse if you wish, but it is something of yours. Our father, before he came to this plane, was gifted a crown by his father.
I'm aware of it.
Kiara mentioned your conversation. There is a twinge of anger in his eyes, but it goes quickly. It is in among the Inquisitor's possessions.
Yeah. I had a feeling. I had a dream, actually.
Dream.
Mm-hmm.
What did you dream?
A hellscape. Someone who I believe is a father. The day I was born. Did it snow?
Our home was in the mountains to the south. Hidden, safe, high. It snowed often. It was very cold. I miss it.
What happened to our mother?
The home was attacked by the Inquisition. She sent me away, and I ran. There was an explosion. Leveled one of the mountain's peaks. The last I saw, an avalanche crushed our home.
The Inquisitor killed our father.
Our father had left trying to draw the Inquisition's forces away. He was captured. All the fight left him once he'd believed Mother and you were gone.
And how did I end up at Nidum?
I know not.
So we haven't got any actual confirmation that our parents are dead.
Father's head rested on a pike.
Okay, so our
Outside.
father's definitely dead.
The Temple of the Inquisition for years before it finally decayed enough to be unrecognizable.
And the Inquisitor has the crown. You said it was mine, but isn't it yours?
Ours. A birthright. For whichever one of us wears it.
And you want it?
For sentimental reasons, yes. Though Father would always allow you the chance to play with it more than I.
It's hard to let a baby play with something like that.
Our
Would you
family
prefer...
was quite bizarre.
Yes. Would you prefer to have it?
I would at least like to see it once more. And I would very much prefer it not to be in the hands of him.
Yes, well, I'd much prefer if he didn't steal any more oxygen from this world, so we're on a similar page there. Is Kiara in the room?
She is.
So you don't want to be king of whatever that crown would make you king of?
There is no connection to our ancestral home.
But if the connection could be re-established?
Then perhaps one day I would visit. But even with the crown, I am mortal, as are you.
Yeah. I dreamt in the past of sitting on a throne. And I don't know how I feel about it.
I have had similar dreams. It's in our blood. Our blood does not control us.
Well, let's focus on getting our hands on the crown first, and bonus if we kill the Inquisitor.
Yes. It would be, wouldn't it?
You have no idea. He is single-handedly the most vile man I have ever had the misfortune of having dinner with.
Visit his home. Then you will see what I have seen. It is you, sister, who has no idea.
I don't think he can fall lower in my regard.
I cannot return to the surface. There are many magical wards that do not allow me entrance into Paras above. Or at least, if I ventured out, they would find me quickly.
I'm honestly surprised I haven't been spotted for sooner. He was really pissed off when I turned down his marriage proposal.
He has not returned yet.
Oh, he's not here yet. That's strange.
He is close to Paras.
I wonder how Rosette is doing.
Rosette.
A tiefling, pink-skinned tiefling. Young girl. Another one for his collection. I met her on the train. Sweet thing doesn't know what she's got herself into.
If you wish to save this child's soul, you will free her before the end of the festivities. She will not live to see the awards ceremony.
Oh, great. Well, I was looking for another reason to piss off the Inquisitor. Oh! Captain Handsome.
Now, a malevolent grin kind of spreads across his face. Oh, yes. The smuggler.
Yes, he'd like passage back down to here.
Would he?
I understand he lost some cargo of yours.
One cannot lose something if they know exactly where it is.
Would you clarify for me what happened?
He picked up cargo
I am aware that the cargo is people.
He picked up some people who owed me a great deal of money. They were to work. They're dead. But he decided that they would be better off finding their own fortune elsewhere, outside of my influence.
So he was bounty hunting for you?
A courier, nothing more.
And he released them before getting them to you?
Yes, but will not tell me where.
Well, I mean, if he freed them, there wouldn't have been much point of freeing them if he tells you where they are.
Is he a friend to you?
Yes. He's been very good to me, actually. Helped us get to Paras to an extent. He helped us get to Charlem. He's kept our secret, kept us hidden, been kind.
I have a job for him. If he completes it well, he may return.
Okay.
Tell him his home below is untouched, in the hopes that he would foolishly try and get to his personal chest himself. It will remain so until he completes his job and his fortunes are his once more.
So you want him to complete the job he lost?
No, I will send word to him of another.
Okay. And I mean, if he messes that one up, he can deal with me.
If you get to him first.
I mean, I can go above ground, but I imagine you would send somebody.
I know people.
I know you do.
Will your friends not be missing you?
Imagine they're probably just waking up. And is that your way of telling me you want me to leave?
I have business, which I would not hide from you, but would not want you to think less of me, having just met.
I'm
Perhaps
really not bothered, but I will get out of your way.
I will be free tomorrow. All day.
Okay.
And would love to meet your friends.
Okay. I'd like that.
Okay.
I get up to get ready. I point to Kiara and go, you should be nice to her. She's very good for you.
Am I not nice? He just kind
Nicer.
of angrily looks at Kiara.
Nice. I give I give him and Kiara a quick hug, and then I just walk myself out.
Kiara returns the hug. He's quite stiff. And as you hug him, you realise that there are probably in like the folds of the leather jerkin that he's wearing, there are a lot of daggers. like a fucking lot of daggers just everywhere.
Sweet. As I'm walking out, though, I do shout back over my shoulder, like, I would actually like a sister, and then I just leave.
A niece or nephew?
So you make your way back into the
Gotta
town.
get with her first.
You making your way up?
Yeah, I'll head back to the hotel.
Cool. So, in the magic of, D&D, you return to the hotel around about the time that you guys get your morning wake-up call, because it's a hotel. Why not? And you can just hear from the center of the suite, almost as the door opens and Oriana walks in. You can see the pulsing crystal ball, and you hear bonjour, good morning. This is your horizon wake-up call.
They're awake. It's okay, and I turn it off.
Okay, you kind of tap it, and it's just you in the middle of all right. Gone.
Sorry, that was a whole person.
It's fine.
Hey, Ariana. Guess who we got a visit from?
Tooth Fairy.
Yes, it was.
No, Daddy.
Oh, I wondered why he didn't leave any money under my pillow.
Daddy came?
He came to see us.
Not sure about that. He was here. I don't know if he got that excited.
No.
Oh, what does he want?
Oh, what doesn't he want? Gave us a laundry list.
Oh, fucking everything, really, but...
He wants a spaceship?
Oh, he's got more stuff on top of, freeing the humans, starting a rebellion.
Actually, some of it
that's...
was linked.
Yeah, that's step one.
Step 1, free the nuns.
He
Step
wants
2,
an airship.
steal an airship that can turn invisible.
I mean, I said spaceship, but I was joking.
Step
He
three.
does
He's not
actually
capable
want
of doing this himself.
Nobody is. Step 3, free the matron mother.
I
Yes.
mean, that was a plan anyway.
And Marcus.
Step 4, free Marcus, who is actually pretending to be Niklaus Wrath and is also under arrest. And I think we'd better get to him before Sepsis
Pretty
does.
sure he's capable of freeing himself, but okay.
I don't know. But we need to free him before Sepsis gets to him.
I think he also wanted us to obtain the legendary lost sword of King Arthur and slay everyone in the entire empire. I think those were
Mordred.
Well, not.
Oh yeah,
The
obviously.
Jabberwocky.
Oh, to add on to that, the Inquisitor also holds my family's crown, so.
Also, I was wondering if
My
you wanted to
woman-
enter the tournament.
Because we haven't got enough on our plate.
Seems like fun.
Fame.
Isn't the
Lots of
tournament
money.
for humans?
No.
No,
I do not want fame.
I'm not sure. I think there might be a. I want to check if there's a group event, and if there is, I thought we might enter it. We're a formidable team.
Right, so on top of possibly killing the Inquisitor and definitely getting my family crown back, freeing the humans, freeing the Major Mother, freeing Marcus, meeting with Jaris, because we still have to do that, visiting one, because we still need to do that, we also need to get our blood traces removed. That needs to be done. Oh, you're meeting my brother tomorrow. Quill wants to break into his cousin's house and investigate what the hell his cousin is up to.
That's a trifle.
And we've got to steal an airship that can turn invisible. And you want to enter a tournament.
And we're starting a rebellion.
And Guy said something about reforming the healthcare system.
I was joking. Well, that's really not my problem.
I'm just...
We don't have to do it all today. The tournament's not for, several days.
Also, he saw you flying and called you unsubtle. And I said
he
that
wants
she
the
lost
flying
you.
team.
I am 6 foot and purple.
I've got Anglo.
Also, I only flew down to the street and walked the rest of the way.
Also, he said he followed you to the broken scimitar and then lost you. So I said, well, clearly she did a good job of evading you then, if you have no idea where she went.
But
And
he
he
worked
went.
out that that's the entrance to Under Paris.
He did, and funnily enough, he wants you to speak to the king on his behalf because that's all anyone wants from you.
I've just done that for Handsome.
I think
Same
he was
group.
also watching Dice in the bath.
Possibly. Unconfirmed at this point.
But strongly suspected.
And our golden toilet also cleans itself. I know that's not the most important thing we've discovered, but I thought it was cool.
Why would you make a toilet out of gold? That's just completely impractical.
It cleans itself. What's the problem?
Luxury.
What is luxurious about it? It doesn't make the experience any different.
Also,
It
it's
might be plated.
It's definitely plated.
after that laundry list of things, all decide to fixate on the golden toilet above all else, and start to argue about the practicalities of having a golden toilet, we're going to take a break because it is actually gone 9 o'clock. It's 5 past. Yes, so we're going to take a break, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. While we're on break, please pop over and check out, if you've got time or the inclination, LokiBattleMats.com, Blink Dog Dice's Etsy store, and for more information on the 24-hour charity stream that's coming up, please click on the Just Giving link.
I'll share them all again. Hang
Millie
on.
will sort out very soon. But yeah, please stick around. We won't be long. We'll see you in a bit.
Bye.
See you then.
Hello.
Activate.
It's worked. Yes. Welcome back to episode 69 of the Chronicles of Nidum. Yes, where we left you all, having an argument about the practicalities of a... Greg,
Yeah?
why is Dead Cell superimposed over your head?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You were all having an argument about the practicalities of a solid gold toilet. However, the afternoon is now, or the day is ahead of you. Many things left to do.
Quill,
Yes, Millie. Sorry. I was just about to say to you about the sound of scraping in your bowl, which is why I addressed you as Millie instead of...
I'm done now.
Yes, Joyce.
I was wondering if today would be an appropriate day to visit your cousin, surreptitiously, as Oriana's here, and Ori, you said you're not visiting your brother until tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. He wants to meet you guys.
I think I'd really prefer
Perfect.
it be a nighttime visit.
Okay, we can do that. We can go this evening.
Excuse me.
I wanted to go and do some scouting around the gnome factories anyway, so I can keep myself busy through the day.
Yeah, I think if we're going to have a nighttime expedition, it's probably important not to wear ourselves out during the day.
Oh! No, I'm not going to do that today. I have something completely unrelated and nothing to do with anything to do.
Okay, which is?
I'm getting a tattoo.
What?
I'm getting a tattoo.
Of what?
And I'm going to pull out a design that's like really intricate, cogs and mechanics. And I'm going to get it tattooed down here, and it's going to look like I have a bionic arm, even when I'm not wearing my armor. And I'm hoping I can get it made as a magic tattoo.
This is some artificer bullshit, isn't it?
Actually, no. You can get one too. They do magical tattoos. Hanson told us about it. There's one. I had notes, but then I cleaned my desk and I don't fucking know where I put them.
So magical tattoo, you mean like it'll move or it'll like cause magic?
Actually, I have no idea. I'm going to go and find out. And also, I wanted to visit the library. So there's
Of course you do.
Jean-Vie and Francois. I think Jean-Vie is the merchant in the merchant quarter.
Anything like Genevieve.
Genevieve.
Genevieve. That was it, Genevieve. There is look, I wrote it on an envelope. What do you want from me? But Quill, I was hoping that you could come with me to be my legitimate.
Yes, by all means.
Face.
I'd love to get a tattoo myself, but gestures to fur.
You can shave.
Tattoo inside your little ears. That would look cool.
Or on your little pads, on
Yeah.
your hands.
Why do you keep saying little?
Because you have really cute little ears. What do you want?
I think my ears are normal size.
I have not seen enough tabaxi to comment on the size of your ears.
Regular sized ears.
I mean, it's not an insult. Okay, whatever.
It's alright, Quill. She used to call my horns little as well.
They're such pretty little horns. Betty.
They're much bigger than your horns.
Well, that's very true.
Un petit hole.
Betty. You sound like Sepsis trying to speak Shalem.
Are you sure she wasn't trying to say that you were a little horny?
It's possible.
I am never a little horny.
Ari, would you like to come with us to see the tattooist?
Sure, why not? I have no plans for today.
Cool.
Does it occur to anyone else that with as many things on our to-do list as we have, maybe we should have plans today?
You can't be busy every single day.
I could do with seeing Handsome at some point just to warn him that my brother does have another job for him to redeem himself and not to fuck it up this time.
Perfect, that's fine. What I don't want... We need to see the impact of a few things as well, and we've got a lot of scouting to do while we're waiting for Jairus. And if we're busy tonight, I don't want to take on another task today that could tax limited resources.
Makes sense.
Okay.
We are dealing with something, just not during the day. We're doing it later, right?
Sure.
And look, we don't go shopping, like, ever.
Except for when we first arrived in... Do you know what? No, it doesn't matter. Let's go.
Yeah, but I didn't know where the tattooist was then.
I didn't think you wanted a tattoo then.
It was something I thought of when I saw all the tattoos in the broken scimitar.
2 nights we've been here so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I think for 2
being
nights
Italian.
I think for 2 nights in the city, we're actually doing quite well in terms of what we've accomplished. So,
Oh, I'm just remembering to keep a tally for Jairus.
for when he's due to arrive, that makes sense.
He's a week late, and we were early.
So he'll be a week late, and we were early.
Well, we were early, and he said he was a week late, so I'm guessing he was expecting to get into Paras before us anyway, and now he's getting in after us.
But are we sure when?
So if he wasn't late, well, he said a week.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay.
It's all right. I'll message him again in a couple of days.
Let's see where he's at.
I want to see what's under the helmet.
I'm not sure I do. A
Really?
little scared.
We know he's human.
Yeah, but he also doesn't seem like he takes it off very often.
No, that's why I want to see what's underneath it.
If anyone can, my darling, it's you.
I don't know, there's a certain thrill to keeping it on as well.
This is not something I have any experience in.
Well, could be that or a blindfold. Tattoo place, where are we going?
Geneviève in the Merchant's Quarter?
Let's go.
For
We
the
go
magical tattoo, yeah?
for the magical tattoo.
Okay.
I don't know
Head
how
over
much
to
it's
the
going to
window
cost.
and start leaning out and go, I'm joking, and walk back over to the door.
Funny, Ori.
Okay.
Apparently, it's very noticeable. If you're a creepy guy who's constantly watching us.
Niklaus is just...
Daddy does that.
That was the impression I had.
As you make your way out into the city, then, altogether, it is, again, if you can believe it, even busier than it was the previous day. More and more people by the day, or seemingly by the hour, flood into the city, getting ready for the coming festivities. Stalls, even now, where the roads or the streets or the avenues that you walk through were bare. Apart from the shops and the people visiting them, there have now stalls been thrown up on the side street, but not the ramshackle kind of hastily thrown together. These appear to have been almost as if they've appeared by magic, as quite solid, very stable affairs. Many different races, many different accents and languages, all hawking their wares.
Are you saying, as if by magic, the shopkeeper appeared?
As if by magic, many shopkeepers appeared. But yes.
Thanks.
I understood that reference.
It's because it was really old.
Yes. I love that cartoon.
I don't understand the reference.
You don't understand the reference. You're moving on.
We'll get to it later. It's
What are you referencing? I want to know.
Mr. Ben.
Oh,
I was thinking, is it Mr. Ben?
Yeah, as if by
Is it
magic.
by
The
magic?
shopkeeper
The
appeared.
shopkeeper appeared.
I have listen. I watched Mr. Ben. The problem is that I haven't watched it for
I didn't.
the better part of 30 years.
I know Mr. Ben because he came up on a TV show that was recalling old cartoons, and my mum knew who he was.
All right.
It was up there with Bagpuss.
Oh, I love Bagput. Anyway, moving
Or
on.
the Flower Pot Man.
I like them too, Bill and Ben.
Terrifying.
Yeah, they were. Weed. Different meaning now.
Millie. But yes, as you make your way through the city, passing with the crowds, you eventually get to the much more established Merchant's Quarter. Everywhere you look is a shop front. The stalls here are a lot less numerous. It would appear that anyone trying to magically throw up a stall in the middle of the street here, the other shopkeepers, the Merchants Guild, might not take too kindly to it. And as you make your way through, you do eventually get to the section shown by... was it Handsome who showed you?
Yeah, Hanson
Yep.
put it on my map.
You get to the part that Handsome showed you on your map, and you do see a magical sign, and it seems to glitter and shift, and all of the decoration around it is beautiful black and white and grey scroll work and inks and designs, and every once in a while it does flash up in the middle of this web of different colours, Geneviève's tattoo parlour. And then
I go.
the image changes again.
From outside it, I go. I just
Have
hope
you
you're
ever
gonna...
been tattooed or pierced before?
I've been
Nice.
pierced.
Okay.
Also, I've been hit with various swords and axes. I figure it can't be as bad as that, right?
Okay.
Also, that time I was hit with poison and acid
Electric
and lightning. You know, we've been through worse, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But it'll be interesting. If I can afford it, if I have enough gold, if I don't know how much a magical tattoo costs, or if I can just have a magical section in a normal tattoo, I don't really know how it works. This is not something Nidum was famous for. So let's go and find out, right?
Go for it.
Um,
It should be interesting. Push comes to shove, we can always heal it straight away afterwards. Skip
Well,
the
exactly.
itchy phase.
There's an itchy face?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We saw people get tattoos.
You go inside.
Yeah, saw them.
It is very dark. The walls, however, are covered in large, like full-length portraits, head to toe, of different people. But then suddenly, every couple of seconds, you see that the portrait shifts, and it's another person in a different pose. And another. And another. And you stand there staring at it for maybe a minute or so, and you do not see the image repeated. These all appear to be previous clients or customers of Geneviève.
Any humans?
There are a couple of humans mixed in,
Good.
but you see tiny little tattoos, huge back pieces, entirely covered head to toe, color, blacks and greys, many different styles. And then after a moment, you hear a whisper behind you. Bonjour.
Ah!
You turn, and there is a short but quite muscular, pink-skinned drow. Well, she would have pink skin, as is evident by the majority of her face that you can actually see. However, from the neck down, as she is wearing, say, in black leather, but very similar to the kind of style of clothing that Oriana is wearing, every inch of her skin is covered in tattoos.
You said a pink-skinned drow. Did you mean tiefling?
Tiefling, sorry. Pig-skinned tiefling.
I was going to say,
apologize.
drow?
A pink-skinned tiefling. But
that makes
every
a lot more
inch of her skin is covered in tattoos, apart from her face. There are 2 tattoos on her face, and they begin at the short, like, stub of the pink horn, and you can see the sides of her head are completely shaved, and there's a very, very detailed, on both sides, almost identical, like, curled ram's horns, tattooed back from the nub, and they kind of circle and artistically frame 2 kind of symbols on either side of her head. And she kind of looks around at you all. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Hello. My friend's after a tattoo.
I wave.
She can't take her eyes off Oriana. But you realise that she's actually staring at Oriana's horns, not the rest of her. And as she kind of looks at them, she kind of just scratches the side of her head, going,
You want to touch them?
"No, I just want to look at them. I think I got some of the shading wrong.
There you go, Ari. You are now an inspiration.
Just think I might need to update my tattoos. I've never had the pleasure of tattooing a tabaxi before.
It's not Quill who wants the tattoo. It is me.
Ah. It is rare that tattoo a human, but of course.
You're taking it remarkably well.
You are a paying customer, are we?
Well, I hope so, but I need to know how much a tattoo of the nature you specialize in would cost.
I specialize in many tattoos. What would you
Magical designs.
like? What would you like your tattoo to be?
I described the tattoo that I want. Sort of like a half sleeve at the top with the cogs and pretty like magic sparkles moving amongst it.
Sorry if you can hear that.
It's fine. If anyone can hear Bucky wandering around grumbling to himself, I don't even know what he wants. But I don't know what magic you can imbue the tattoo with. It is a new concept to me.
Well, there are, I would say, many different magical effects I can put onto the tattoo for you. Come, please. And she takes you back to the corner. There is a bed there. And you can see it's got many different ways of folding, so you can get in a good position depending on where you want to be tattooed. How were you?
It's fine.
What were you looking for? Would you like to be more resistant to damage? Would you like a tattoo that allows you to cast an additional spell that is imbued into the tattoo, or would you
Don't
like
be
to
silly.
able to change the way you look, or what would you like?
Don't be silly. If humans could cast spells, though, which of course they can't, that would be ridiculous. What would the cost of casting an extra spell a day be? If it was possible, of course, which it's not.
It, of course, depends on the spell itself. What manner of spell? How high in the arcane arts would you like the spell to be?
Complicated questions to which I don't have an answer. For example, Bucky, I'm busy. I don't know how to describe a level 2 spell to a random woman without saying level 2 spell. A moderately powerful spell.
Second level spell.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to let this dog out, sorry. 2 seconds.
Okay. It helps.
Ariana's looking at the flashes on the wall.
Okay. Fuck. It helps that she's doing this because D&D Beyond is broken, and I'm trying to work out.
Thor's tattoos are like moles, aren't they? He's got the black tribal ones, but they move.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, for a dog that was terrified of people, he's really fucking demanding.
For your tattoo,
Yes.
you are looking at un moment. $500 gold.
Did we split out the gold? Just to make sure I'm not carrying everyone's gold.
Yeah, we split it.
So, Ari, how much gold do you have?
178.
And how much platinum should we have each? Because I've still got 750 listed here, and that is not correct.
Oh yeah, I have 0 platinum. You've still got all the platinum.
Yeah, so that needs to be split. Hang on then. So that should have been split 4 ways, right?
Well, 3 ways. Quill didn't get any platinum.
I was thinking of Sepsis, who would have been
Texas had
there.
their own cut.
Texas did have their own.
The minus button muted me. So we should each have 250 platinum. So Ori, you should change yours to
I
reflect
think that's
that.
like 250,000 gold.
I have how much platinum, sorry?
250?
Sweet. I now have 2,000 gold.
Yeah. So if I remove all of that and then add 250 back in, so I can make sure I've got the right amount of money, and I still have too much gold, but I'll sort it out with Bri later. The version to change your appearance, how frequently would it work? And for how long? What duration?
It is a simple spell. It lasts as long as the normal spell would allow. So, an hour.
It would save
You
me.
can cast it once a day.
No, I would like to be able to cast a second level spell once a day.
And what is the spell?
Trying to choose between invisibility and spider climb. Because they're the ones I used most often. Invisibility.
And can you cast the spell?
Yes? No, because humans can't, but yes, if they could, which I can't, but yes. I don't know what you want me to say here, maybe.
I will tell you this type of tattoo. The tattoo will disappear once you have cast it. It only happens once.
I want a tattoo I can keep.
Then perhaps this is not the tattoo for you. Why not?
Well-
As you are a human, I've been told humans are, how you say, more susceptible to damage.
We can be.
There are certain
Is it resistance to damage types or resistance to damage in general?
damage types. Acid, cold, fire.
I don't suppose there's resistance to necrotic, is there, Rich?
Oui.
We can do resistance to necrotic?
Oui.
That would be handy. That would be great. How much would that be?
It is a little more expensive. There is perhaps 10,000.
That would take me a while to achieve, I'm afraid. Well, how's this then? Can you do a normal tattoo for the time being? And when I have enough, I can return and get the magic put into it. Or added on.
Of course. I will need to increase or go over the tattoo. It will be possibly more painful the second time around. There is perhaps a different way you could pay.
How's that?
The tattoo, depending on the type of resistance you wish, is it requires a different ingredient for the ink.
What ingredient for resistance to necrotic damage?
To make the ink, we need what is the word I'm looking for? It is black powdered black glass from a volcano. What is it called?
Obsidian.
Oui.
Powdered obsidian.
Mm.
That might not be impossible, actually. All right. You've been very helpful and forthcoming and surprisingly willing to speak to me, which was unusual. I brought my friends in case you wouldn't.
It will need to be pure, untouched, and needs to be perfect.
Is it something you can get from an alchemical supply store, or do I need to go and find the volcano?
No.
Like, how fresh are we talking here?
Not in the amounts that you need. It is an ingredient that is intrinsic in many spells or arcane practices, it is normally quite expensive. But if you can, you need to bring me at least 2,000 golds worth.
I think we can eventually manage that. It will take a bit of time. In the meantime, then, could you do the same design on the other arm without magic?
Oui.
And then I can do an updated version when I have the magic available. But I would still like the tattoo.
Of course. 500 gold.
No problem. And I hand it over. While sitting there thinking, this is the most fucking expensive tattoo I will ever have in my life. 500 gold for a tattoo with no fucking magic in it.
Get tattooed, Dice.
Well, if Dice had any concept of money, she'd be very offended by this fucking price, just so we're clear.
What, a half sleeve? It's fucking cheap.
500 gold. That is a ridiculous amount of money.
It cost me 150.
Not gold!
She sits you at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Comfortably. Cleans down your arm. Takes out the needle. Touches it to her lips.
I start screaming immediately. No, I'm joking.
Almost to give the needle a kiss. Utters some words. And then places the needle just above your skin. Time almost seems to stop for you. And you see her wave her hand and the needle moves of its own volition.
Okay,
And it begins to run up and down your arm, tracing just above your skin where the tattoo will go. And you can see it begin to move, not in the gentle waving of her hand. You see it begin to move in a staggered motion, as if it is itself caught in one of the cogs or the clockwork mechanisms that you want tattooed onto your arm. And as it moves around, you start to see ink spread into your skin. And it does burn. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'll be honest, I'm not overly concerned. Use my magic dice. Yeah, that is 18 plus 2, that's 20.
It does burn, but as you mentioned to Oriana earlier, you have yourself been through quite a lot worse than this. Electrocution was worse than this.
Yeah.
And as you begin...
It does feel a bit like electrocution, though, I gotta say.
As it begins to become much more comfortable for you, the tattoo does start to take root and grow, and you can see all the little details kind of filling themselves in. And it appears at certain parts of your arm, if you look inside the clockwork, you can see forever into this clockwork mechanism, and it just goes down, 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 down. And then after a moment, time begins again. You are laying there. Your tattoo is complete. Quill and Oriana, there was a flash of light, and the tattoo's done.
Wait.
Look! Look! It's not magic, not yet, later. But look!
We were here for the conversation. It's very nice.
Isn't it pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, I love it.
It is the reason I do not have very long queues. The tattoos do
And
not
presumably the reason why it costs 500 gold to do.
Oui. You could have had the very same thing done down in the docks. There may have been a higher chance of disease, and perhaps it would have taken you 2 visits or many hours to complete. But it would have been considerably cheaper.
This is preferable, I think. We are busy people. I will be back. Thank you for speaking with me. I appreciate it.
A customer is a customer.
Many don't see it that way.
Many
Most.
are perhaps in a better social position than we find ourselves. She looks down at herself. And you realize through all your travels, tieflings don't get it much better.
Not the pink ones, no. Still, your tattoos are beautiful, and your work is beautiful, and clearly that is recognized here.
Merci.
No?
And she stands up on tiptoes and kisses you on both cheeks.
I giggle. Slightly awkwardly. That is terrible.
Oriana, as you are looking at the flash on the walls, you see one of the portraits change, and it's your brother.
Hello.
And even in the portrait, the tattoos are moving. And then it shifts back to the next person.
That's interesting.
What is?
Oh, that portrait turned into claw.
A very famous tattooist indeed, then.
Claw?
He is covered in them.
Use his name again.
Yes, claw.
It has been a while since I've heard from him. I assume he is still alive?
Yeah, he is. Keeping busy.
He arranged for the shop.
Not bad. You seem to be doing really well with business.
I've been waiting for him to collect on the debt, but he never came back.
I could remind him.
No.
I'm joking. Did you do his tattoos?
Oui.
All of them?
Oui.
Interesting. I might come see you sometime.
It doesn't take very long.
It would be a pleasure.
Thank you.
Au revoir.
Have a good day.
Okay. And you step back out into the street.
Yeah. And I turn to Ariana, I go, my mother would be fucking horrified.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
And
seriously.
I want to be there when she sees that. Because I didn't trick you into this. This was your idea.
No, I think she learned a long time ago that you didn't tend to trick me into things. It was more suggested things. And I went, hey, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
I didn't even suggest this. You cannot pin this on me at all.
It's something I've wanted for a long time. And it's the first time we've been in a city big enough that I figured there would be someone here capable of doing what I wanted.
I feel like if she's going to accuse Oriana of being a bad influence, it will be because of the whole overthrowing the Empire thing and not the tattoo.
Honestly,
no, she'd know that's
be
more
on board.
dice. Yeah.
She would be on board with this, yeah.
She would not think I'm the one that wants to overthrow.
I see.
Thank you guys for coming with me. I appreciate it. So go back to the hotel until the evening, or do you have plans?
I wouldn't mind inquiring about the tournament, find out if there are group events.
We can at least, if we go and speak to Apolloteius, that could give us both answers.
Yes, then you wanted to visit your friend one.
I wanted to check on one more, but yes. This is the same thing.
I would like to check in on Handsome as well.
Is the Broken Scimitar anywhere near the Gladiator School?
The Gladiator School is right now from where you are, on the other side of Paras. Handsome would be closer.
We could stop at Handsome's and then head to the Gladiator School.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Just let's do that.
Bryce, like,
Let's go.
why are you rolling your eyes? What did we do wrong?
Nothing. It's very difficult to get AD on stream in the middle of a stream.
We can go and visit Handsome.
It's fine.
Apolloteius
No,
next time,
it's fine.
No, I think maybe we should go and check out my family home.
Well, look, let's go and visit Handsome, and then we can wait until the evening, and then go and check your family home.
Yeah.
At some point, I would also like to go back into Paras below and explore some more of the ruins, but
You
that's
still
more of
need me
a...
to just... We'll be walking and talking. Do you still need me to distract your cousin with talks of trains?
Not if we're going at night, I think.
Yeah. It couldn't hurt though. We could go during the day if Ariana's willing to take one for
Well,
the team.
if we wanted to go in the evening, I could send a message asking if you'd meet me for a drink.
It's worth a try.
And
It
that
does
way
seem
he'd be
worth
out
trying.
of the house.
My preference for the evening is just because the activity we're investigating seems to go on during the day. That's right, isn't it, Bride? That's what Quickfang said.
From
They're there during
from what
the
you
day.
remember of what Quickfang said, her brother gets visitors during the day most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and they work in the closed wings of the house, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's my preference for the evening. But
We'll
yeah, by all means,
do
we
that.
Yeah.
Have you got pen and paper, Dice?
Yeah, of course. I'll pull it out.
I'll scribble a quick, but as neat as I can, note saying, I was the tiefling that was with your cousin. I'd love it if we could meet for a drink. My time on my train travel has left me with questions.
Oh, you are going to have the most
And then-
boring night in history.
Quill, I need a suggestion for a place that would be nice to drink. I don't think your cousin's going to want to go to the Broken Scimitar.
Weird.
I mean, I arrived in Paras the same time you did. Perhaps when we get
The
back
hotel.
to the
Why
hotel.
does the hotel? Does the hotel have a bar?
Yes, the hotel is a bar.
The hotel bar. There we go.
Okay. I wonder if he'll be concerned about why we're not there, but then we can just say we're out.
That you're
enjoying
in or that you're in the room.
No, because he might come looking for
We
his
might come
cousins.
to
Though.
visit.
You're out in Paras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing degenerate stuff, partying.
And I will find someone or something to get that delivered to.
Oh, the concierge will see.
We're not
to
near the
deliver.
hotel, you prune.
Yeah.
When we go back to the hotel.
Well, is there
I'd
anyone
rather-
around that looks like a messenger?
Yeah.
It's pretty common in cities.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Second dice roll of
19.
the evening.
Right,
No.
we're looking for a young boy. We're just looking around for a young boy.
11. I rolled an 11. Ori wins.
Yeah. Okay, Oriana. It takes you about maybe 20 minutes, but eventually you do find that there is, and you've noticed these, but not really noticed their function before now. But there is a kind of on the corner of major kind of throughways. There is, or appears to be, like a booth that a couple of young halflings, young tieflings, just seem to be standing around. And you realise that every once in a while someone does come up to them with a message, or a piece of paper or a package that needs to be sent somewhere, and they appear to take a small fee and then just run off as fast as their legs can carry them. And as you approach, there is a young human boy there, not dressed as well as the others you've seen, but making the best of it. And as he sees you approach, he bows very low. Bonjour, madame. Is there anything I can do for you?
Could you deliver a message for me, please?
Ah, oui. Where would you like it delivered to?
What's your family name again, Quill?
The Fragrant Peaks clan.
Very good. That's the home of the Fragrant Peaks. The estate.
Home of the fragrant pricks.
Yeah.
Oui.
I mean, But just to be clear, if you have a fragrant brick, you should probably just wash.
It is quite far. If begging your pardon, madame, that will be a whole silver. If that is...
I give him a gold. For your trouble.
I unfortunately cannot give you any change for this. It is
No, that's fine. Keep the change.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's no problem at all. It is a distance to go.
And he looks around. This is not a trap or a trick.
No,
Why would it
I
be?
promise.
Sometimes we are accused of being pickpockets, and the guard will try and trap us with offer of more money than a journey like this is worth, just to arrest us. We have to be careful.
Do we look like guards to you?
The guards normally send other people to do the trapping.
Do we look like people who work with guards to you?
He kind of looks at you all. No?
It's 10 silver pieces to a gold, isn't it?
Yes.
So in that case, I give him 10 silver pieces. Now that just looks like you've done a couple of jobs today.
Oui. Merci, thank you. I will... The fragrant pigs.
As fast as you can, please.
Au revoir. And he runs off. In what you know from, your general sense of direction, is the direction of Quill's
Right.
cousin's house.
Right, let's go see how the captain's doing.
Pardon?
I said Quill's aunt's house, really.
Quill's aunt's house, yes, sorry.
My heart rate's 69.
Nice.
And you make your way to
Handsome.
Handsome.
To the scimitar.
Okay. So you make your way. It takes maybe about half an hour, but eventually you do get back to the Broken Scimitar, where a party seems to be in full swing.
As usual.
And as you get in, you do realise that it's not so much a party. There is again what appears to be a bare-knuckle boxing contest going on in the middle of the tavern.
Jean-Paul there?
He is. And as you look into the centre of the ring, he is there in the middle, giving as good as he can get. His opponents, and there are two of them this time, one is a half-orc and one is a heavily tattooed tiefling. But the heavily tattooed tiefling only has one leg and a peg leg, and he currently has a hook, which looks incredibly dangerous for a bare-knuckle boxing match, apart from the fact that there is a crudely cut cork stuck on the end of the hook.
I nudge Dice and say, hell of a right hook on that one.
That's oh my god. That's actually pretty good.
I'm looking around for Hanson.
Handsome is off in one corner, sitting at the same booth that you've caught him in before.
I slip into his booth.
And he looks up. I have not been this popular in a very long time.
Spoke with him
Ah, oui.
about you.
The Powerpuff Girls villain?
He'll be in touch with a new job for you.
I was wondering what this was. And he holds up like a parchment, piece of parchment.
My suggestion is don't fuck it up.
I will not. Though.
I'm serious this time, Handsome. He's leaving you alone at the moment, but if you fuck this one up, he's sending people after you.
This one is promises to be much more, how you say,
Your speed.
better for my conscience.
smuggler with a conscience.
What was wrong with the last one, Handsome?
They were alive.
But
It's
they
a
would have
long
been-
story, Dice. I'll tell you sometime.
All right.
So,
Anyway, do you know anything about Jean-Paul?
nothing more than the last time you asked.
Oh, that's right. I did ask you.
Right, your memory is insane. How do you do that?
As you are sitting there, I want everyone apart from Oriana. So, Quill, Dice, and someone roll for Ace.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. To roll me a perception or an insight check.
Okay. I will go with
With disadvantage.
perception.
Gross. What do we have disadvantage for?
Oh, it's good.
Not going to be any good for Quill.
I rolled a 15 and an 18, so it's perception 20.
20.
I
I've got
rolled a
plus
9 for Quill.
Okay.
I'm just getting Ace's stats up. That's not going to be much better. 10 for Ace.
Okay. Dice. As Oriana points over to the fighter in the pit that she's showing an interest in, you look over. It's kind of handsome. Not as good looking as, your drow love of your life, but he's alright. But then you do a double take. You take in his stubble. You take in the bandana tied around his head. The sweat running off him. His lithe frame. And then you notice the shape of his nose, his jawline. His eyes startlingly blue. Like in no human that you've ever seen. There's something ethereal about him. And you start imagining that under that bandana, that there might be a point to his ears. That stubble might not be real. And your memory is taken back to the hologram that you saw last night. The message from the older Prince of the Realm. And without that stubble, they might be the same person.
I will go. He's already talking to Handsome at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I go, Ariana, can I just borrow you for 2 seconds? Just come here.
Yeah, okay.
Track her away from the table and go, that is the older elf prince. That's the older Prince of the Realm, Prince guy. He showed up in a hologram last night. That's him.
The guy fighting in the middle of a bar.
Yep, fully is him. Imagine him without the. You didn't see the hologram.
Hologram?
Quill did.
Not hologram. 1 second. Quill, Quill, come here.
I was just going to say, I fully wandered off and I'm over at the fighting.
Quill.
As you telling me this, I'm going in for a closer look now. I'm like, what,
It's
really?
fine. I'll go and stand next to
Now?
Quill and go, Quill.
Yes, Dice?
And I'm being very sotto voce, very quiet.
Okay.
I'm like, well, this dude is the same elf that was in the glowy the picture last night. That thing.
Right.
And as you look back at him, he just gets smacked across the face. So not the best look right this second to be getting like a good. But as he kind of shakes himself off and smiles, and it's not like a wide sloppy grin. It's the cool, controlled smile. And you do, now it's been pointed out to you, Quill, you notice as well that without the stubble, this guy would be... This is very probably the prince you saw in the hologram last night.
Does the stubble look like makeup, or does it look like an illusion?
As you're looking at it, from this distance, you can't really tell. It's so subtle that an illusion of this small, if it was literally just stubble, would be impossible to see through. If it was makeup from this distance, you wouldn't be able to tell.
So,
I don't want to fight him.
surely the question is, why?
Well, let's find out. I'm going to try and catch his eye while he's fighting.
Yeah, we should definitely mess with more princes.
So this is any time he looks at me, I'm just going to do a quick little wave.
Whee!
Okay.
I didn't want you to. I wasn't calling you.
As you start shouting and waving, then Oriana, he kind of looks over the head of one guy he's got in a headlock as he dodges the punches of the other, sees you, and now his grin becomes like wide and sloppy. And he just, bonjour, my lady Oriana. It is good to see you. A moment.
Bonjour, Jean. Bonjour, Jean-Paul.
And he kind of spins around in the air. The
Sorry, how does he know Oriana?
We've met
When did you meet?
Last time.
yesterday in the bar.
And as he kind of spins around in the air, the guy he's holding in the headlock, the tiefling, goes with him to save himself from having his neck broken. Spins in the air with him and lands hard on his back. But Jean-Paul, in the middle of the spin, also then brings his foot up and kicks the other guy in the face so hard, he just knocks him out. And the crowd goes wild. And he just stands up, sweaty, beaten, and just kind of bows again.
I cheer and like reach out for him so I can like pull him over.
And he kind of walks over. Do you have a towel? So I can clean myself off before I am...
I pull a hanky out of my top, straight out from in between the cleavage.
And he takes it from you. Merci. And just that's like kind of wiping his face delicately. Your friends have joined you.
Yes.
This is not so
I'm
much...
back in armor, by the way.
This is not so much a social call.
Well, actually, I need to thank you for yesterday.
I did nothing.
You know exactly what you did.
No. They were looking for me. I had recently insulted the captain of the guard and I was in trouble.
Well, either way, let me buy you a drink.
Of course. Please. And he takes you over to a booth. There are what appear to be fans of his who see him coming and immediately kind of graciously make way. And a waitress then comes over as soon as you're all situated and puts a drink down.
I sort of wave a sorry at Handsome because we just abandoned him and all fucked off really quickly. So I'm like,
And Handsome is kind of... Handsome looks at the booth around him and just looks like fake crestfallen as he... How will I cope?
Flip him off.
How will I cope? And then like a girl just comes out of nowhere and sits down next to him and he just raises his glass to you and then starts chatting to it. What can I attribute the pleasure of your company to?
Well,
Very impressed by your fight.
Yeah, you've made quite the impression on all of us.
It is nothing. I just enjoy getting down and dirty with sweaty men.
You seem to enjoy getting your ass handed to you until you decide you're done.
It is all a dance. I am slightly better at different dances, but it is a dance all the same.
suppose.
What sort of abilities are permitted in the pit here? Is it simply strength of your arm, or are you allowed to augment it if you have other talents?
It is normally strength of your arm. It is very rare that we get more than one person with magical abilities. So it would not necessarily be fair to put them up against someone who did not. I myself, I'm sad to say, have not one iota of magical ability in my entire body.
Now that we're sat closer, can any of us see the beard? If what it is?
Roll a perception
heck
check
yeah.
for me.
I'm going to be wanting to do that.
19.
Okay.
Hang on, I've lost my perception score. I've lost dice. I've lost D&D Beyond.
17.
You can no
Oh,
longer
God.
perceive your perception.
I can't even find D&D Beyond. I don't think I have it open. I'm so confused.
From this close, it would appear to be
11.
okay. From this close, it would appear to be makeup.
I want to take the hanky back off him and start dabbing his brow and going, you missed a bit. And then wipe it down the side of his face.
Okay. As you do that, then he goes, "I'm sorry. Thank you very much." And as you wipe it down the side of his face, his eyes kind of shoot wide for a second, and then he just kind of rests that side of his face in his hand, as if he's very tired. So, was there anything else I could do for you? I should perhaps leave very soon.
No, I think you can stay where you are for a moment.
But perhaps the guards will be back.
I'm sure they will be.
Why would you want to leave? Surely time spent in the company of such a beauty as Oriana is best savoured.
We're tormenting this poor man. I love it.
Think, Quill, he might have somewhere he's supposed to be.
I can't imagine where.
You know, planning something, preparation for things. The bandana's a nice touch.
I would prefer perhaps the silks I'm used to, but silk would not do well with all of the sweat and...
No, it doesn't wick away very well. What are you doing fighting in bars?
I take it you have seen who I am? You have some
These two have.
inkling as to
These two have. You've just pointed at an automaton.
to my
And I go,
identity.
Yeah. These two have. A communication that went out last night. I was occupied. And didn't see it.
Of course, you are staying in a more, how do you say, upmarket establishment that has the crystal balls. None around here.
You are the elder, correct?
Oui.
Brother. Why is your younger brother being coronated? Wouldn't that normally fall to you? Or is it because of what you get up to here?
No. There my family's theory is intricate and complicated. Let's just say I stepped aside for him.
I'm gonna rob this fool.
With your upbringing and your teaching, you couldn't learn how to disguise yourself better.
As an automaton, I go, because I can't help it.
Roll a persuasion check.
Who now?
Yeah,
Alright.
while she's rolling that, Bray,
Happily.
I just rolled a 31 sleight of hand to pick this guy's pocket.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to do big math.
As long as it's not reverse maths.
Heck no, nobody likes reverse
Just
math.
stop talking for a second. 32.
32.
That is big math.
Okay.
Yes.
So you rolled a 31 on sleight of hand, and you rolled a 32 on persuasion.
Yes.
Jesus fuck.
I'm particularly looking for anything like jewelry, like identifying that he might have hidden away in a pocket or something.
Are you using Mage Hand for this, or are you...
No, we're sat next to him on at a table, right?
I like to think we've cornered him into a booth.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So like I figured I was close enough that I could just use my regular cat hand.
Okay.
My cat hand.
Your tiny hand.
Not tiny.
Hey, it's Dice and Oriana that keep saying your little hands. It's because you're a
No,
cat.
it's his ears. We keep
Little
saying
ears.
little ears.
Oh, okay.
and the pads. They said
Yeah.
I've got tiny beans
Little
on my
beans.
regular size hands.
Okay. As Oriana then distracts him with questions, you do rifle his pockets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you find nothing apart from what appears to be his winnings. He's got nothing on him.
I mean, I'll take his winnings.
Cool. You get about 20 gold off him.
Sick. It all goes towards paying off my paper and ink debt.
As he looks at you, then Oriana. The crown, the empire itself, it is meant for those with magical ability. Unfortunately, there was not enough magic to share to my generation. It skipped me completely. And so, when my brother was born, he was the one who was chosen to go through all of the rituals, through all of the rites. When he became old enough, he is the one who is taught by the Inquisition. Apparently, the rituals and rites would not work on me. And so, I was left with administrating the kingdom for my father and my mother until my little brother becomes of age.
Not gone through the rituals, eh? I don't say that out loud. It's me thinking.
This is such an improper activity for a man in your position.
Stress relief, I imagine.
Yes.
It is. Have you? Could you perhaps imagine waking up every day and your entire day is planned out for you? Your entire day is controlled by other people. And, your time taken up by sycophants and beggars.
I certainly know.
Sure, every single human feels that.
I certainly know some people who don't have any choices in their lives.
And humans don't wake up in a lavish palace surrounded by silks.
I imagine most of them would trade with you in an instant.
Perhaps they would. But you can also then imagine why someone feeling that frustration would want to step outside of their life for a moment.
True. That's
What do
how
we
you
call
roll the
you?
bank, do you? Oh yeah, I suppose your name isn't actually Jean-Paul.
It's some of my names.
Oh god. You need 3 maximum.
if I tell that to my mother?
There's not much I'll say to an elven lady.
Are you not? Am I to assume that you won't be coming back here now that we've had this little chat?
It depends. Are you going to out me?
No,
No.
you've given us no reason to.
Roll a persuasion check.
I shake my head as an automaton.
I guess we're all with advantage because I'm helping you, right?
25.
He believes you.
I myself would find it a little saddening to know that I ruined your escape from the many woes of palace life, and it would be a shame if we couldn't visit and chat with you occasionally.
It would be a shame. I have questions about some of the things I have heard about people that you bear a striking resemblance to.
Well,
Not a threat.
No,
maybe you should meet with us sometime. Alone, obviously. Whether it's as yourself or as whoever you are here.
that is acceptable.
I'm going to mutter very, very quietly to Ariana to turn my head and go, perhaps he could come to the hotel?
I don't
Not
want
tonight.
Not tonight.
I have to come by here tomorrow. We all do, in fact. Going to meet a friend of mine. We could have a chat then.
Oui.
And I hope in the meantime you're not going to turn us in.
No.
I want to do an insight check.
Yeah, I would also like to insight check
I have
that.
asked around about you. There are many stories.
It's 12.
Oh, 17.
As far as we're aware, he's very interested in you. He appears to be telling the truth. He's not going to rat you out.
Has he given any indication that he doesn't think I'm an automaton?
As far as you can tell.
Is that a separate insight check or is that the same one?
From that inside check, he doesn't appear to be noticing you.
Cool, that's fine.
They'll let us keep you then, I suppose. It's been a pleasure meeting you properly.
I'm sure you've got more fights to win.
The fight is gone out of me today. Perhaps I will have better luck tomorrow.
I hope so. I might put a bet on you.
It works for me.
Before I leave, you have nothing to fear from me. And as long as you do not try and burn the place down or assassinate a dignitary, if you can get word to me, you have nothing to fear in my city.
It's good to know.
Until my family return. It is my city.
Okay. I make sure he takes the hanky with him. Like I'll stuff it in his trousers or something.
He does. He does take it, and he kind of holds it in his hand. He bows courteously.
I let him out of the booth.
And as he leaves, he kind of turns to Ariana and winks. And just walks out the bar.
I'm gonna follow him. I'm gonna say to Dice, hey Dice, cast invisibility on me right now. But unfortunately, Millie has run away to deal
I'm
with
about
your
to
unruly doggos.
Okay.
I guess we can assume that Dice... Millie's back. Dice, cast invisibility on me right now.
Done.
Excellent. I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. So you follow him out of the bar.
Thank God I had that prep. That would have been awkward, wouldn't it?
And as he walks out then into the streets, you see him walk maybe just 2 doors further up before 2 guards come around the corner of an alleyway and almost bump straight into them. And he puts his hands up. They do not draw weapons. They both look concerned, tired, as if they've been running around all over the place looking for him. And one of them kind of leans in and starts speaking to him and whispers to him. And he puts his hands down, smiles at them both. And they take him around the corner into the alleyway.
Yeah, I'm following, but I'm gonna I use feline agility to hop up onto a roof, so I'm looking down from below. I rolled for stealth already. I rolled a 31.
Okay. So as you hop up onto the roof then and look down into the alleyway, you see him reach round behind what appears to be a bunch of like broken crates. And he pulls out a very small pouch. Looks similar to a pouch you have, and a pouch that Dice has. Mm-hmm. And out of this small pouch, he begins to take a fine shirt, a fine pair of boots, a long, like almost floor-length brocade jacket, and he starts to put them on. And 2 more guards come from the other end of the alleyway, also looking like completely out of breath and annoyed. And he walks towards the end of the carriage. Towards the end of the alley. And as you gets to the end of the alley, you see that 2 other guards turn up riding a carriage. And he hops into the carriage. And it drives off into the busy city of Paris.
I think if they've been looking all over for him, they would have checked the place where they literally always find him.
Have you come back and said that, or are you just saying
No,
that?
I just said that to myself on a roof.
On a roof somewhere in Paris.
Cat on a hot tin roof.
Dreadful. Unforgivable. I will go back to my compatriots.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
It's mid-afternoon now.
We should head back to the hotel perhaps and see if there's been a reply to your message.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
It is a good idea. Let's do that. That was an interesting afternoon.
I could do with a bath as well.
Not every day that you meet such a talented fighter.
No, quite right too. I'm interested.
Yes.
As you make your way back to the hotel then,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't take too long, but when you get there, the concierge comes out from behind the reception desk. Just un moment, s'il vous plaît. I have for you. There has been a letter delivered. The little boy. I hope you do not mind. We have fed him. He seemed quite tired and out of breath. He was smiling from ear to ear, but I thought he may run himself ragged, delivering these messages for yours.
Oh, thank you.
So he hands the letter to you, Oriana.
I open it.
It is from... sorry. It is from Quill's cousin.
You forgot his name.
Busy Claw.
There you go.
Well done.
And
I don't write that down.
at the beginning of it, to whom it may concern,
Good lord.
Rude!
I, of course, remember our meeting, the brief though it was.
I didn't speak then.
I did not, obviously, understand that you had any interest in trains, but I apologize. I was distracted by the sudden arrival of a distant relation that I had not seen in a while. It would be agreeable to myself to discuss in great depth with you trains and other such modes of transport. They hold a dear place in my heart, and I fancy myself a expert on them. Unfortunately, this evening I am otherwise engaged. My little sister wishes a night at the opera, so we will be unavailable for some time until very late. And of course, any self-respecting person should be in bed to be up at the crack of dawn the next day. The early bird gets the worm and all that. Please, if you still wish a meeting, present yourself at our estate tomorrow for lunch. Regards, Quick Quill. No, busy
Busy
Claw.
Claw.
Busy Claw.
Quick
Subtle
Quill,
Quill, I
a
think.
combination of two different people.
Yeah.
Neither of
Busy Claw.
which. A Busy Claw.
Well, there's your distraction for the night, and I haven't got to talk about trains.
Dear God.
Surely
this
you're
man-
going to accept his lunch appointment, his lunch invitation, though.
I have an invitation elsewhere tomorrow.
Oh, how terrifying! How terrible! What a poor.
If we ask the concierge, they would probably reply with that for you, so that it's...
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to ask if they send a reply just stating that I have a meeting tomorrow, and but maybe we can arrange something some other day.
No problem. The concierge takes the reply from you and just takes it off you. And it's, of course, madame, I will not send the same boy.
Oh, poor thing.
Very
Okay.
tired. I probably will send him home.
Please.
Oui. Of course. I will have it sent straight away.
Thank you.
You know, Quill, I don't mean to be rude, but your cousin is the most boring man alive.
Yeah, and yet, almost certainly involved in something deeply nefarious.
Yes, but I suspect he thinks he's doing it for the right reasons. Power, prestige, money, the usual, you know?
It's not necessarily the impression. Yes, power, prestige,
Are we
money,
going up
etc.
in the lift now?
Yes, those are very boring motivations. However,
Maybe he's having a sex dungeon built.
no.
It doesn't seem likely.
I mean,
I think-
I don't see how having a sex dungeon built would require the closure of the entirety of both wings of the house.
Really big sex dungeon.
I will say, if Quill and I discover that on our little adventure, I will be hugely entertained and will immediately describe it to you in detail.
At most, I would
I
think
appreciate that.
At most, I would think that you would have to close the ground floors of two wings in order to achieve the building of a sex dungeon. I don't understand how the upper floors could possibly be involved.
Maybe it's not a sex dungeon, or maybe it's got a really tall swing.
I don't think
Ooh.
that Busy Claw is having a sex dungeon built.
Maybe one is a sex dungeon and the other wing is a harem.
It's where he's keeping all the ladies
Or
who like to talk about trains.
just a massive model train set.
Huge. Takes over an entire wing. He's actually doing
Absolutely
nothing
massive.
nefarious. He's building trains.
Or maybe he even puts on a little hat.
Toot toot.
Oh, has a little whistle. Oh, yeah.
Ori, are you coming with us this evening?
I'm not exactly the stealthiest.
I know, but I also would not wish you to be left out.
Ori could borrow Ace's stealth item, possibly.
Would borrow Ace's boots. Actually, there's no reason why not. Ace intimated that they were intending to go for a bath, so... And also is the least stealthy person alive,
I
even
don't-
with the boots.
I don't need to. I have I have advantage on stealth.
You have the cloak, but the boots would give you advantage on sound checks as well.
I mean, I'm not wearing plate armor. I think I'd be okay.
That's true.
I'm just uncomfortable with breaking into a giant house. But okay, I'll come. Maybe I'll find the sex dungeon.
And then I wouldn't have to describe it to you, because the idea of describing Busy Claw's sex dungeon is a little uncomfortable.
Also,
Imagine.
I think we should stop considering the possibility of Busy Claw ever having sex.
I look at Quill and go, imagine if the sides were covered in leather stamped with train images, just to really get things going for him.
I mean, I've never tried tabaxi. Maybe I should.
Please.
Maybe you should.
Actually, what I was considering is if you guys were happy to go alone, I was thinking maybe inviting Jean-Paul to the room. It wouldn't be unexpected for him to be seen turning up at an expensive hotel.
I'm very uncomfortable with letting him know where we are staying.
He knows where we're staying.
Precision. He doesn't. He knows
That
that we're staying in a more classy establishment. This is a capital city.
You could
There
message
are-
him and
there's more
invite
than
him
one
to.
hotel.
I could
You could
invite him to the bar.
You could
Yeah.
take a room in a different hotel and invite him to there.
That would actually make quite good sense if we're talking about being cautious. Take Ace with you, and don't rent it by the hour, though. They'll think you're a very different level of clientele.
I'm just trying to think of somewhere a bit more quiet to speak with him than at the Broken Scimitar. But that, I mean, if you want me to go with you to the house, then I'll go with you to the house.
I think also, how are you going to invite Jean-Paul with today? Oh, you have magic.
I would be interested to see if the conversation progressed to the point where I could gauge his reaction to humans. I would like to be there if we could.
I too would like to be there for any chat with Jean-Paul, unless you're planning something more intimate.
A different kind of chat, if you will.
I wouldn't want to be a third wheel.
Going to talk, and I mean, if anything happened, then it happened.
I promise, if we're all there for the conversation, if anything happens that happens, we'll
We'll
make
just leave.
ourselves scarce.
We'll go.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll go.
Yeah.
Me and Quill will go and drink somewhere. It's fine.
I mean, it all depends on how he reacts to humans and his intentions entirely with everything else, and if he's even actually interested.
Can I make the suggestion that we perhaps aren't too forthcoming in terms of our involvement with humans? He seems like he seems like a decent sort, but he doesn't.
He knows who we are, and he knows that we've had a run-in with the royal family before. If he knows who we are, then he knows that.
Yes, but I just think.
No, I would like to, ideally, in an ideal world, befriend him, get his help, have an inside man, as it
Yes,
goes. He did also
I
say not to assassinate any dignitaries, and I want to slit the throat on the Inquisitor, so...
Maybe he really hates the Inquisitor.
This is
Well,
where,
that's
this
the
is where
question I
I'm
need to
coming
ask
from.
him.
This is where I'm coming from, is that he seems like a less uptight member of the ruling class here, perhaps. And it's possible that he may be useful to us. It's possible that he may even have sympathies that lie in our direction. But, as evidenced by the fact that we have heads still. But
Well,
my concern is he is still a member of the royal family. His loyalties can't be assumed to be.
No, that's
First
why I
and
would like to have
foremost,
a
anywhere
conversation with him in a quiet room.
Yes, my concern is that the conversation not become too legally actionable.
no, I know. But I would be interested to show as a human servant for the conversation. I can do servant. I don't do it often, but I can.
I want to keep exploring the relationship with this fellow, but I'm concerned about doing anything that would be, or saying anything that could be interpreted as treason.
I promise not to commit treason a second time. Once was enough.
How comforting.
Well, the first time we did it, we didn't know it was treason.
And it wasn't on accident.
And to be fair, I was trying to save the fucking kid, but that's a whole other argument.
I'm just unsure that saving a child is treasonous.
And yet...
No, it was the having humans with magic in the first place, and myself having magic and being unregistered.
I'm sure
then
that
Sepsis burning the house down with the prince in it.
I'm sure that you understand what I mean, and it isn't about, not saving any lives or performing any magical acts. But if we were to say something along the lines of, oh yes, well we're actually quite interested in ending the rule of elves. I would like us not to mention the contents of this book to him.
Absolutely not.
It would be considered.
If I'm entirely honest, Quill, I forget that book exists most of the time.
Apart from mentioning it, I mentioned it to Papa Nicky for different reasons, which is totally his name. I love it.
The book is...
Papa Nicky?
The revelations in this book are so earth-shatteringly important. What do you mean you forget them?
Oh, Quill,
you
didn't go to school with me, sweetheart.
But Ori has never yet tried to convince me the Earth is flat, so Ori isn't that distracted.
It's like forgetting. It's like finding out that the Earth is flat and then just forgetting it.
Again, you didn't go to school with me, Quill.
I just don't.
I am very clever in very few subjects.
And remember, Oriana, you have been quite absolutely convinced by Sepsis that the Earth is flat.
Well, it was flat. Yeah, I'm not admitting to that.
Those persuasion checks were good.
No one should ever admit to that, I think.
It's like if I showed you a book that conclusively proved there were no such thing as mountains. I'm sure you wouldn't forget having heard that.
Look, Sepsis. No, sorry, Quill.
Can you imagine if we put Sepsis and Quill in a room together?
God, that sounds like it would be super trippy.
Doesn't sound like the type
I'd
of
have
person
to be high for it.
Sounds like a one
Sepsis
shot.
doesn't sound like the type of person I would get along with.
Quill, may I borrow the book? I wanted to see if I can discern any more of its nature this afternoon as we're sitting here and we mentioned it.
Should we work on it together?
I would love that. That would be great.
I'm going for a bath.
Can you prestidigitation me again? I smell like armor.
Yes.
I love you.
I smell like beef.
I don't, but thanks, Quill.
That was not in character, Millicent.
For the best.
So, you both sit down and start to pore over the book. Roll me an Arcana check. Both of you.
Oh, heck yeah.
Both of you, or one of you with advantage.
I've
What
got
do you
plus 9.
Oh, I have +7. You roll.
My Arcana is one of the few places where I am outstanding. And to help me understand it, I am going to give myself guidance as well. Because I'm actively trying to work on something, so it makes sense to me. Okay, so that's going to be that, plus one of those. Yeah, lovely. 26.
Okay. As you begin to pore over the almost impossible to translate scribblings, you flick through a couple of the further pages, the ones you know are empty, that have frustrated you previously, and you are surprised to find that there is writing in them.
Yay! I'm gonna sneeze.
And not quite understanding fully, you begin to read. And as you do so, Quill, you hear the music in the woods. Your vision swims, as does yours, Dice. And once more, you find yourselves in a dream. The world around you, it's like you have tunnel vision. You can only see what the writer wants you to see. Your vision turns without your thought. And before you, you see a war-torn land. And a city. Smaller, but as you take in the mountains and the hills around you, the rise and fall of some of the city, its buildings, in the middle of it, with one lone, crashed airship sticking out of the side, much more ancient in form and technology than the ones you've seen recently. There is a huge metal spire, large construct in the center of the city. And you find yourself standing on a hill, looking over at Paras. The figure standing next to you that neither of you notice until this moment, Sir Kai, starts to stalk forward down the hill. You can see he's forgone shaving. His hair is longer, the beard long and wet in the rain. As he stalks down the hillside, you can see off in the distance 5 riders on horses, making their way towards you as quick as possible. And as they pull up, in much more ancient armor than what you were used to, you see every one of them is an elf. Why are you here? Are you human or something else? And Sir Kai looks forward. I'm human, obviously. Can you not tell by the beard, the lack of point to my ears? What has happened to your city? One of the elves replies, same thing that has happened everywhere. Magic has left us. Most of the population has gone. The city, however, is quarantined. You are not welcome. If you wish, we can direct you to a nearby village where you can find bed and board before you travel on. You sound like you are from Albion. And he just laughs. Albion? Kimria. Not from Albion. Well, Kimria, watch your manners. I have heard you are all savages. And as he moves forward and pulls out his map, one of the elves gets down off the horse. You see a flash of darkness in the elf's eyes. All of the white disappears, his pupils swimming out to fill everything up in inky blackness. And Sir Kai looks at the other knights as they brandish their weapons, and all of their eyes are dark as well. And throwing his map down on the floor, Sir Kai takes his greatsword from off his back, and in one arc takes the elf's head off. The other elves begin to rear on their horses and charge forward with spears lowered. And Sir Kai stands there, waiting for them, as he stares at the elves, and you see dark, black-green tendrils of energy start to expand from their chests, almost like wings, before they turn into grasping hands and tentacles as they move forward straight towards Sir Kai. But he lets out a loud Kimrian battle cry and charges straight towards them all. And as you start to pull away from this scene, the details of the battle lost in the rain, your vision is drawn towards Paras. You see growing out of the heart of it green energy that seems to swirl around a central point that you know now would be where the palace is. And out of that green energy glows a crystal. And from that crystal, these dark tendrils make their way out like fog, sweeping over the city And the further and further you pull away up into the air, the further and further these tendrils just move out over the land of the entire empire. And again, your vision darkens, you wake, and you have now deciphered a few more chapters of Sir Kai's travels across the lands, trying to find out what has happened. From his own summations and his investigations, it would appear that the elves, according to him at least, their magic has changed. There are very few natural elven healers. He has not met a druid in years and does not think that any are left. But their magic is now something darker, and everywhere an elf has been is touched by some form of necromancy. He also mentions that he started to find these green crystals dotted about. The first time he ever touched one, he got very sick, and has learnt never to pick one up again. And he will continue. He's not a massive storyteller. The battle, which is the end of this chapter of his travels, effectively, we gave battle, I won, is how that went, at least in his own words. And he promises to travel further to see if he can determine the heart of where this new evil lies.
I think we need to keep working on this to understand better what happened. Muted.
Agreed.
You do now see that past where you had previously deciphered where there were empty pages, and past now the new pages that have been filled in, there are now many more pages of indecipherable scribbling that you may need to work on, or that may unlock themselves. You work out that with your Arcana check, there seems to be something about the journey.
We're going to learn it over time.
It's about not just time. It would appear to be that your arrival in Paras has unlocked this memory. And only travelling or effectively moving on the same path as Sir Kai may give more information as to what's going on.
You know, that makes it very tricky when we have no idea where he was or is going.
He did say he did say in the chapter he meant to travel east.
Funny, I was going to say from here there's really only east to go.
Well, there's nothing west of Avalon after all.
Yes, and also this would be a strange place to end up if he's heading to Avalon.
Does Quill not say it? No, he doesn't, does he? There is nothing west of Avalon. No. What time is it? I know we're finishing now, but what time is it in game time?
It's maybe after that. You realise that the candles have been lit around you, but you're used to it by now that the light in the room changes from natural to candle as and when it gets too dark otherwise.
It's not like our headlights, automatic lighting.
Mm-hmm. Which means that Oriana has probably got stoned and is just lazing in the bath and has been there for a couple of hours.
Yep.
And Oriana, with nothing else to do and no one disturbing them, has just gone, fuck it, this bath is self-warming. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to stay in the bath.
You're going to have to drag my body out of there.
If Oriana's anything like her player, she doesn't need to get stoned to take a 2-hour bath.
That is the frickin' dream, mind. A bath that's self-warmed.
It just keeps itself warm.
Oh,
I can turn the tap with my foot. It pretty much is self-warming.
But the sun has now set outside. That's how long you were in that dreamscape for. How long you were in that trance.
I think we're going to leave it there, right?
I figure so.
And as you ready yourselves then for your nighttime escapades, we will leave it there. It is just gone 11 o'clock. So yes, I'm sorry I didn't make episode 69 all sexy and stuff. But I'm also...
I told you, it's still being called nice.
I'm also, be thankful that I didn't, as you put before we started, that I didn't Matt Mercer it. You made it sexy for me. Correct. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
Oh, don't, man. Don't. I was so drunk.
Yeah, we know. Hang on, look at that face.
Toga,
There is a follow-up photo to that one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't look sober in that picture.
No, I was very drunk.
Everybody's got one eye shut.
I was very drunk. I could not remember where my tent was, so immediately after that picture was taken, decided that the best place to sleep would be under the car I was leaning against, in the middle of a field.
And there is a follow-up photo where they actually stuffed him into a tent face first and left him wrapped in his toga sheet. So all you've got is a tent, a head, or a tent, a headless body, and a sheet. It looks like someone's murdered him and shoved him in a tent.
We do need to get to bed. So
yes,
yeah.
But yes, so thank you very much, everyone who has joined us. Thank you very much for joining us for episode 69. I still can't believe it's been this many episodes. But yeah, it is late. So as always, please, if you can or haven't already, pop over and check out LuckyBattleMats.com. Go show Blink Dog Dice some love on their Etsy store or any of their social media. Tell them how amazing you think their dice are, or go buy some. And remember, currently with the code 20OFF, there is 20% off any order on their Etsy store at the moment. They're amazing dice. Also, if you haven't already, pop over to the Just Giving link for the 24-hour D&D homebrew live stream, the charity live stream that will be going on the 24th of July to find out more information about it. And if you haven't already, go over, join our Discord. I think everyone in the chat already is in our Discord. And check out our YouTube. This week, tomorrow night, on twitch.tv/Dice of the Beholder, when he gets off the ceiling, Greg will join me and two super fans and friends of ours anyway, Stu and Nikki, as I run them through their second ever session of D&D. They did really well in the first one, even though the Manticore could have been a social encounter, but that's what you get if you have a ranger who can't roll for nature. But yeah, join us tomorrow night for D&D. Join Charlie for more and more Mass Effect 3, which I'm sure is coming to it. It's going to come to an end soon. He's got to.
No, I forgot how big of a game Mass Effect 3 is. We are about to take on, hopefully getting the Quarians and the Geth to get along. But we're getting it. No, we're not too far from the end. We're doing it. And I think we're going to take a break from Mass Effect then, and I've got Dragon Age Inquisition. Nice!
I love Inquisition. That was my favourite one.
And then we're going to do Mass Effect Andromeda.
I love that too. Tuesday night, I'm going to try and stream it anyway because it's out. We'll see if I can get it downloaded, and if it works, there is going to be Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, which drops on Xbox Game Pass for PC. Hopefully I'll get Millie to download it as well. Greg apparently doesn't play computer games. I
do play computer games. Of course I do.
He plays Valorant.
You said the other night you didn't want to play with us anymore because you don't like playing games. We were in the middle of a match on Valorant, so I should have realised you were probably taking the piss. But yes, it's a co-op D&D hack and slash dungeon crawler. So join at least me playing it. Hopefully I can get Millie, maybe Greg in as well. But yeah, join us on Dice of the Beholder, Hey Charlie, and also Nullist Pointer Exception and Blizzdot on YouTube. Apart from that, thanks to those who have watched, thanks to those who will watch. Take care, stay safe, wear a mask, don't go outside unless you have to, get vaccinated if you haven't already, and if you can. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Love you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.